choice of listening for full commentary of Celtic against Dundee. BBC Radio Scotland on digital, Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds and 810 medium wave. And for open all mics, choose BBC Sounds and 92 to 95 FM.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder! What a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. A big afternoon of action ahead. We kicked off today with a game at McDermott Park. Rangers beating St Johnstone by 2-0. The lunchtime kick-off in the English Premier League finished Wolves 1, Liverpool 3. Andy Robertson on target for the away side there. We have been round the grounds for the team news. We've heard from some of the managers in the top flight games. We have reporters at 2 championship matches for you this afternoon. Let's then get to Tyrone Smith. He's at Tannadice and Dundee United against Morton. Tyrone.
Yeah, Kenny, still to kick off here at Tannadice for what should be a pretty intriguing encounter. In terms of Dundee United, it's a case of, well, steady as they go, isn't it, as they look to continue what's been a very impressive start to the season against Morton here this afternoon. United, they have really quickly found their championship feet after dropping down from the top tier. It's 3 wins and a draw for their opening 4 games. That's a run of results which sees them sitting top of the pile, and they will be wanting to stay there. As for Morton, well, after just missing out, of course, on the promotion playoffs last season, things haven't gone as they would have planned so far this term. After beating United time ago in their opening league game, they've lost all 3 of the championship matches they've played since. Yes, the campaign is still very much in its infancy, but Dougie Imrie will be hoping his side can get things moving in the right direction again sooner rather than later, ideally starting today. We're just about to kick off here at Tannadice, where the referee for this one is David Munro.
Yeah, United strong favourites. Their title was an early chance. Someone shout out for an early chance there, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, yourself,
Kenny,
Lee.
me. Yes. Straight for kick-off, but ball went back to Stuart Finlay, who was looking to put it on Lewis Stevenson's head. Kilmarnock, everybody went forward. He shanked it, went to Boyle, he went through 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper in under 20 seconds. A great save for the goalkeeper, so it's been a good start so far.
Yeah, it could have been the dream start for new Hibs boss Nick Montgomery there. Kilmarnock against Hibs. We heard from Tyrone Smith. Dundee United at home to Morton. Chick Young is covering Queen's Park against Dunfermline for us. Good afternoon, Chick.
Hi Kenny, back at the National Stadium or Queen's Park. Actually, you were talking about Andy Robertson a moment ago. I know he scored for Liverpool today and he captained Liverpool today on his 200th appearance for the club. Well, of course, this was a ground and a club that he knows very well. Captain of Scotland, of course, a former Queen's Park player. He wouldn't recognise the stadium in terms of the crowd, the likes of which was in here the other night. It's only just the main stand where Queen's Park, and of course, actually in a tribute to Andy Robertson, Dunfermline have changed to an all-red strip today, so it's kind of Andy Robertson Day throughout the country. Just one change in the Queen's Park team. That young Callan McKenna is back in goals. He was away with the Scottish youth team. I think this kid's got a real future. 7th appearance, I think, for Queen's Park. Dunfermline, of course, out to try and climb this league. Looks like a fine footballing start to this game, Kenny. We are under starters' orders. Dunfermline make the most of the early. Here's a break for Dunfermline inside the box now. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. He's held it up. I don't think the chance is gone, Kenny. It was a real chance for Dunfermline to get ahead there. I think it was Lewis McCann who broke through. Still got it around about the box, but I could be here all day describing this chance. Oh, it's gone away this time. Still 0-0.
Yeah, good start to the game there. Queen's Park have been a decent start to the season. They have 9 points from their opening 5 games, and Dunfermline 5 points in their opening 4 matches. So the very early stages for you, Rory Loy, at Celtic Park. How are both sides shaping up there?
Well, Celtic have started on the front foot, as you would probably expect. It looks like Dundee have gone with two holding midfielders today, so it'll be interesting to see how Celtic can break them down. Nat Phillips looks a big, strong lad, I tell you, and he looks good on the ball as well. He's fed a few passes into Kyogo. He's played a few diagonals out wide to Maeda. One thing I have noticed is when Nat Phillips gets the ball from the right centre-back position, Greg Taylor, as we're used to seeing him, maybe not so much this season, comes right in the pitch, and they're trying to get Yang on the ball and work it out to him. As for actual action so far, there's not a lot happening, but it's more of a 4-2-3-1 for Dundee as opposed to a 4-1-4-1. So interesting to see how Celtic can break them down. I know they struggled against St Johnstone, but they've certainly started on the front foot here. They've worked their way into the box now, actually, and Taylor, well cut out there, and it's cleared by Cammy Kerr. So still 0-0 here. Interesting to start, Kenny.
And for your game at Tynecastle, Willie Mill, you feel both these sides desperately in need of a confidence-boosting 3 points.
No, they do. Both are desperate for that, but it's Aberdeen that are looking the better in the early exchanges. Very early in this game, of course, but the ball has been in the Hearts half for most of the few minutes that we have played. A good save as well from Xander Clark, and goal too. It was straight at him, written off from McGarry. You would expect him to make the save, but I think both desperate for points. You need to, show the fans. I think Hearts in particular here at home now, packed house, too, very expectant of the 3 points. But I don't think it's going to be easy because Aberdeen have started extremely well. Hearts haven't had anything in the Aberdeen half of note so far. Long to play for here at Tynecastle.
We have our first goal of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 1. Adam Corbett with that goal on 3 minutes. Cove going through a really dreadful run of form. Let's then get to Rugby Park. Almost a dream start for Nick Montgomery there. Lee McCulloch, what are you expecting to see from his side? What are your thoughts on that appointment?
Yeah, well, I think when you look at it, if you look, he's not an experienced manager. He's had under 60 games as a manager, but he has been successful, winning the A-League with the lowest budget and the youngest ever team to win the A-League. Then he must have a bit about him. You hear him in the pre-match interview: effort, desire, hard work, all the principles of a winning team, winning formula. So yes, I'm really looking forward to it. So unlucky not to start 30 seconds 1-0 up when Boyles went through 1-1 with the goalkeeper. Derek McInnes would have been pulling his hair out right away.
Lee, you get confirmation with that one. 11 seconds. That
was
chance
it 11?
for Boy, that would have been
I must have fell asleep for 20 of them now.
By the way, what a start that would have been your first game in Scotland.
Exactly. What about Stuart Finlay? He's tried to. I think they're going to aim for Lewis Stevenson, play the long ball on him, try to go over the top of him, but that was a poor pass for Finlay. You're right, Leon.
Yeah, almost a dream start for Nick Montgomery there. How have things started at Fir Park, Derek Ferguson?
Yeah, nothing between the sides, Kenny. Very competitive, as you would expect. Motherwell had a little chance just moments ago. Bear just scampering away down that left-hand side. It was a decent ball outside of the foot into the box. Slattery arriving late. Little change of shape as well. A little bit, I don't know, maybe Leanne will tell us better, but Bear up top, he's not up top on his own because Slattery and who we got? We've got Spittle. Yeah, Spittle just coming from a deeper area, trying to get up and support. So, but two of the sides, great start of the season, I've already said. But I think it's going to be so tight here this afternoon. I don't know about that watch that Leanne was talking about, but you can see that both sides, they've got two of them. They've got two good managers. They've got players that are very competitive. Both managers get the most out of them. But I just think it's going to be very tight this afternoon. It could only be maybe one or two. A goal that maybe separates both sides, but I'm certainly going to enjoy it.
Derek, did you say that Motherwell are a back four today?
Yeah, back three.
Back three.
Yeah, that was Blaney, Mugabe and Casey. It's O'Donnell and Spencer, the wing backs. Yeah.
Goal, yeah. Hibs.
Take it away, Lee. What a start for
just
Nick Montgomery.
Corner, great start for him. Obviously the early signs with the Boyle 1v1. Boyle's put in a corner, and in the second phase it's Miller at the back post, just bundles it in. It's the absolute perfect start for Montgomery with his green jumper on, may I add, today.
What colour of jumper you got on, Lee?
What do you think?
Lovely royal blue one.
Yes, exactly.
He must be trying to follow in Ange Postecoglou's footsteps. He went crazy with the jumper, didn't he, when he arrived, Lee?
Yes.
But by the way, the goalkeeper's got to be disappointed with this one. It's at his near post, it almost trundles it, it goes underneath his body. I think I'm just getting a better look at it just now, but bit of a stramash, good first touch. Finish, but it's keeper's near post. I think he's got to do better.
Yes, I agree, but I don't think Nick will be too worried about that.
Not at all. good start from Hibs.
Yeah, what a start for Hibs. Nick Montgomery, we heard from him just before 3 o'clock, and we will hear from him later in the programme. So Hibs 1-0 up away at Kilmarnock. As we told you, it'll be a 3:15 start for Michael Stewart's game in Dingwall. What are you expecting from these two sides this afternoon, Michael? We've got a problem with the line there. We'll hopefully get that established for you. There, Michael, back with us.
Kenny.
Yeah, I'm here.
Got you now, Michael.
Hi, well, I mean, I would think it's a fair assessment to say that it's going to be a game that's fairly tight. You know, there's not going to be, I can't see, you know, for example, a game like last night that ended up a convincing win for Partick Thistle. And, you know, Ross County, no doubt about it for me, from what I've seen this season, I've got a lot more about them. I don't see them getting dragged into a relegation fight like they were last season. And for Livy, every season you think that they're going to be, you know, floating around that bottom end of the table and getting dragged into trouble, but you know, they're both sitting around mid-table at the moment. There's only a point between the two of them. I imagine it being a pretty tight game, but whether this delay, and obviously I was hearing you guys talking about coming up on the day of the game, it is far from ideal. Whether that plays a part or not, time will tell, but certainly from Ross County's perspective, they're in a much better place than they were last year, and I see them being able to keep themselves in that mid-table position, no real issues.
Yeah, we did our predictions, Rory, at the start of the season. Are you expecting quite big things from County this season?
Yeah, I was, and I still am. I think that just the momentum from last season, it was almost like a promotion on the last day of the season, the way they ended up staying in the Premier League. So, is that a goal? Sorry.
No, on you go, Rory.
All right, sorry. And I think they've taken that momentum in, along with a few good signings. Malky Mackay's obviously very experienced, as we've said before, and I just think they've got the makings of a side that could push into that top six. I think they can score goals if they can get it right defensively as well, then they stand themselves in good stead. A magnificent result down at Rugby Park. The last game I covered, however, it wasn't void of controversy, shall we say. Was a quick corners taken here. Oh, Taylor can't quite sort his feet out. Dundee switched off for a second there, and the ball came in from O'Reilly along the deck. So yeah, I do expect good things from Ross County this season. This is the first time I've seen Celtic and Dundee in the flesh as well, and I heard a lot of chat this season about Kyogo maybe coming deeper in things, which isn't necessarily wrong, but you know, he's so potent when he plays on the shoulder of the last defender. That's one thing I have noticed so far in the game. He is coming to feet, he is showing. Again, that's not necessarily wrong, it's just the way Brendan Rodgers wants to do things. And Nat Phillips as well, the new signing for Celtic, he looks like the one who's going to get on the ball. I appreciate he's playing alongside Liam Scales, who's a left footer, but Nat Phillips is the one they're trying to get on the ball to try and look to play out from the back. But on the flip side, Amadou Bakayoko for Dundee looks a real handful. He can take the ball in. He's won a few headers in the air against Liam Scales as well. So a lively start to this game as well, but no goals so far.
Willie Miller's at Tynecastle. On you go, Michael.
Kenny, I was just going to say that obviously, you know, with the team bus breaking down, the one thing that I would add to that is that it's not a million miles away for the Tomat and Whiskey Distillery, and I did see David Martindale walking his way down the A9. I don't know how long they were delayed for, and I don't know what it was he was doing, but he was certainly coming in the direction of a wee distillery. Maybe he was.
Michael, did you see that the Ross County bus went and picked them up?
I think so. That was what I was told. Yeah, that Ross County team bus went down to get them.
Davy Martindale's post-match interview could be interesting. Stay tuned on Sports. And Willie Miller is at Tynecastle for us this afternoon. It's been a real struggle for the Dons this season. I'm going back to the tail end of last campaign, Willie. Just 2 wins from 12. Duke, no goals in 13. His last goal against County in April. Where do you see the problems for Barry Robson at the moment, Willie?
Well, I think at the back, you know, at the beginning of the season, and he does put forward reasons. He's putting a new team together. It's a new back three as well. The shape that they're playing just now will be the first time that they've actually played together. Obviously up front, I think Duke was a slow starter last season as well, but came, you know, really good. And it looks as though that's maybe the type of player he is, but the sooner he can get into his stride, the better. You know, Barry says about European football, well, you can put that forward as a reason, but you've got to get used to it. This is a big club. Both these clubs are huge. They've got to get used to playing in Europe. They've got to find a way to manage that. He's also put a reason that there's a lot of players come in late in the window. Well, again, you've got to try to get your squad in shape before the season has started, rather than getting into the season having to work with them. Listen, they've got a bit of time now. I think both managers have got a bit of time to work with their squad, but certainly Barry Robson needs to get it right. He needs to start picking up victories here. He's got a torrid, I think it's 7 games up until the 10th of October. So if he's going to use Europe as a reason for not performing, then I think we're all going to get a little bit fed up with it, because he's got plenty of games coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it's something Lee McCulloch experienced, of course, with Robbie Nielsen at Hearts last campaign. The thing is, it's coming. The club's not enough time to...
Oda scores for Hearts. The second trip up, down the right-hand side. He gets far too much for it. McGarry's got to close him down. He decides to go and close him down. Oda strikes it. It takes a little deflection off the wing-back, and it whizzes by Kel Roos in goal to give Hearts a lead here at Tynecastle.
Yeah, that's a big goal, Leanne, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big goal, and there was a warning shot, as you mentioned, Willie, a few minutes ago. Kel Roos made a good save down to his right-hand side. Aberdeen managed to tidy up, but it's good play from Hearts. They've stretched that Aberdeen back line. I think the deflection makes a difference, though, because it almost as if it adds pace to the ball. It just fires up. Kel Roos doesn't stand a chance, but good strike from Oda. Good power, good pace back across the goal.
Yeah, that's a big goal for Hearts there. Oda on 14 minutes. East Fife have gone 1-0 up against Clyde Scott Shepherd on 14. Annan 1-0 up on Stirling Albion. Tommy Goss also in the 14th minute. Lee McCulloch, tell us how difficult it is, because you experienced it last season at Hearts, but you strive all season to get into Europe. Are the clubs not prepared for it?
I think we felt prepared for it, put it that way, but you strive to get in there all season, you cement third place, everything is going good, and perform. And I think domestically you need to perform, you need to perform in the European games, which are super difficult with the standard of player that you're playing against. So yes, I think it can be really difficult, and I think Barry at Aberdeen will realise how he can be a victim of his own success as well.
Yes, an interesting point there.
The thing is, Lee, sorry.
On you go,
the thing is, Lee, it's so early in the season, and I just struggle to understand why players are tired, after playing 2 games in a week so early in the season. I can understand if you're talking about in the new year, in the later stages of the league campaign, and it takes you out and you're drained. I've been there, I've done it, understand that, but surely at the beginning of the season, I think putting forward the fact that you've got to play 2 games in a week, and that's affecting you when players are feeling tired. I don't really get that.
Well, I'm with you on that, and that's not. I did not use that as an excuse. What I'm saying is, I completely agree. What is the problem with playing 2 games a week, 3 games a week, whatever way you want to describe it? There should be no problem at all with the facilities most teams have got now, especially if you're in a European competition. They'll be bringing the facilities in. What I mean is masseurs, everything. Players have got everything at their disposal, but now all this sports science stuff's coming in. I think it's making players weaker mentally.
Lee, did you find it more difficult to get a message across to a larger group that was inflated for European football, as you would have done with, say, just a bog standard domestic squad?
Yeah, I think that's got its own problems within it as well, the bigger the group, because each game, every player worth their salt wants to play football, and some can find it difficult to say, I'm not playing, does that mean I'm dropped? No, you're getting rested because of the weekend, or you're getting rested because this game doesn't suit you. I think that there's ego creeping into our game, which I didn't like, and yes, the bigger the group, the harder it is to manage the group that isn't playing. Leanne,
how challenging is that, Lee, then, managing a group of modern professionals?
Sorry, Kenny, can I just come in here? Kyogo is pretty much just walked off the pitch and walked up the tunnel. A little bit of confusion as to what's actually happened or what's gone wrong. Not quite sure myself. There's players going out to warm up, but Kyogo's literally picked himself up and taken himself off the pitch and up the tunnel. Very, very difficult to say why at this moment in time, but they do have substitutes now warming up and currently playing with 10 men.
Yeah, it's a strange one, Rory. I wonder if he's feeling unwell, potentially, because even the medical staff that met him as he he approached the touchline seemed a bit confused.
They are now in conversation with Brendan Rodgers, so be interesting to see if there's changes made. Is out warming up alongside a couple of others.
If it was treatment, Rory, you would have thought he would have just sat down in the pitch.
Yeah,
so it maybe sounds as if he's perhaps feeling unwell, and that's why he's left the field of play.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, it's very strange. It's difficult to say why, but Celtic currently playing with 10 men, so I think they are waiting to see what the feedback is from the medical team before making a decision.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. When Montrose won, Edinburgh City nil, Aidan Quinn with a goal. Yes.
Just saying it could be nature. Oh, what an effort that was.
I think
just going to say that could be nature calling.
He wouldn't have gone at that great a speed, I wouldn't need to say, Chick, but who knows? maybe we'll move differently when
it depends on the urgency.
Kenny, I was wanting to ask.
Yes, say again.
Kenny, I was wanting to ask Willie, how many players were out the building at Pittodrie this summer? Because I know they've obviously brought in, is it 13 now that they've brought in?
Yeah.
And how many have actually gone out
now?
Is it 40? Yes, with
I would love to answer that question, but I don't have that information at hand.
Yeah, take it away, Tyrone.
Yeah, it was a beautiful ball. It was swung in from the right-hand side, and guess who got on the end of it? That man, Louis Moult, a lovely glancing header into the back of the net to make it Dundee United 1, Morton 0.
Kyogo has reappeared and is back on the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, well, water break.
But toilet break, there you go.
Well, what I was going to say was, it doesn't feel like there's been a huge number that have gone out the door. It seems like the squad has been, bolstered in numbers like quite dramatically. And the one thing I think about, and Leo will be able to tell us his thoughts on this, was that the perception last season with Hearts was that the squad suffered because of the European exploits and a lot of injuries.
Sorry, Celtic in the post there,
Hearts
Michael.
had a lot of injuries. Well, Hearts had a lot of injuries before a European ball was actually kicked. And I think Aberdeen have bolstered their squad, understandably, but I think they've done too much. I don't think you need 14 new players when it doesn't feel like they've had, say, for example, 7 or 8 guys going out the door.
Yeah, the injuries is to Morris. He got an injury. He's going to be out for 10 weeks. Or Dadia, I don't know where he is. Don't see him about, so he must be injured as well. And Rhys Williams hasn't kicked a ball either, so they do have 3 injuries there. But yeah, I think it was a case of bolstering the squad rather than a mass exodus. But I don't have the actual numbers, Mikey. I'm sorry about that.
I think
do you know
just
what I mean,
to jump
Willie,
in
terms of
just to jump in, I agree with you, Mikey. I think you can bolster the squad, but I think it's got to be with quality. There's no point in having too many numbers.
Absolutely.
If you've not got the key areas, and go back to what you were touching on Hearts last season, we'd Halkett out and Boyce out, but just as you're saying, before a European ball was kicked, very difficult to replace players like that when your sort of budget isn't allowing you to bring in the top-notch players.
And Craig Gordon's injury's got nothing to do with European football. That's a freak incident. Stephen Kingsley was suffering from injuries, and he had a season that didn't allow him to get going all campaign. Beningame was already out prior to that as well. You had a spine of a team that, to me, had nothing to do with European football that you were missing. And the perception is, they struggled with European football. And I think Aberdeen have gone the opposite way and bolstered too much. And I think then it becomes a problem like what Lee was talking about, where you're actually having to deal with a bloated squad that are not all going to be able to play, and that in itself has issues.
I think, looking at the starting lineup though, Mikey, for Aberdeen, if you take the back 5, with Devlin, Gatterman's just through the door, Rubic's just come in, Jensen as well a couple of weeks, and Magari a couple of weeks, and Jamie McGrath to that as well. That's a fair amount of new players, so I can understand when Barry is saying that he's got new players and needs time to work with them to get them in shape, particularly that back lot, who have leaked another goal. I think that, it needed a bit of surgery. Some went out, plenty come in, but we're still waiting to see the fruits of that investment.
Obviously, we covered both games against Häcken, and for half an hour over in Sweden, Aberdeen were exceptional.
Yeah.
So the potential's there. They do have the players to go out there and get the job done. They just need to find a way to do that, obviously more consistently. But that last half an hour against Häcken was as good as I've seen a Scottish team play in Europe that half an hour in a long time. I must say they were absolutely exceptional for that half an hour. So the potential is there with the new signings they've made.
Dundee United 1, Morton 0, Louis Moult with the goal just coming through. 19 minutes of confirmation there. Stennismuir 1, Stranraer 0, Matthew Aitken on 19 minutes. Man United are a goal down at home to Brighton. What a job Brighton are doing. Danny Welbeck with a goal on 20 minutes. United 0, Brighton 1. Yes, Willie?
I can't remember what I was saying there, Penny. I think what I was saying is that they played quite well at Pittodrie as well. Yes, I've now got my train of thought back. But they lost 3 goals. They lost 2 goals, over in Häcken as well, over in Gothenburg. So if they're going to be losing goals like that, then you're not going to win games of football. And they did have 3 opportunities in both games. Duke had 2, just the goalkeeper he beat. And Majorski had the chance right through as well.
If you look at the second half of last season, in January, the big difference for Aberdeen is they signed some defenders that wanted to defend. Jim Goodwin's side shipped goals in for fun, and then Barry Robson in January managed to get things changed. But for me, Willie's touched on it there. This season, from what I've seen Aberdeen, defensively they look all over the shop, and Rubicic, rash, jumps in. I mean, the penalty he gives against Häcken, terrible. Defensively against St Mirren, some of these play, just ball watching, getting caught out position, and then that feeds into what Big Lee's talking about in regards to you're bringing players in numbers. You're better bringing in smaller numbers for me and quality. And at the moment, defensively, I'm not convinced with what I've seen with Aberdeen.
Right, let's get round the grounds and get some updates. Rory Loy, what's happening at Celtic Park?
Well, it's sorry, Chick.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was going to be a goal. What a run that was by Lewis McCann. He beat about 4 defenders, got to the byline, cut it across. The ball came off the goalkeeper, and I think it was Craig White. He should have knocked into the net. Came off another defender, was going for a corner. Sorry, Roy.
No, you're quite all right. Celtic's just piling on the pressure. I mean, Dundee are camped in their own half, as you would probably expect at times. Just Celtic's quality letting them down a little bit. Their movement's very good. McGregor at times, Turnbull picking up nice pockets of space as McGregor feeds one over to Maeda there. Dundee defending well, and it ends up in the hands of Carson. I have to say that Yang has tried his best. He struggled a little bit. He's given the ball away a couple of times. It seems to have affected his confidence, because he was quite bright at the start of the game, but like I said, his confidence maybe went down a little bit. O'Reilly hit the post while that conversation about Aberdeen was going on. He picked up a good position in the box, faked a shot, then did release the shot, and it came off the inside of the post, and Dundee got away with that one. But there are signs that Celtic just starting to come onto a game and understand each other a little bit more. Greg Taylor's been playing well, in my opinion. He's picked up good spaces. There is a little bit of a difference though in terms of, I remember being here last year, and there's a lot of chat about the ball boys. The ball went out there, and Alistair Johnson sprinted across just next to Tony Docherty, looking for the ball off the ball boy, and it didn't quite have the same speed in coming back on the pitch. So a little bit of things different from last year. However, as I say, this is the first time I've seen Celtic this season, and there are signs there, just they're not quite as cohesive as they would like to be at this moment in time, and it's still 0-0, but very little offensive threat from Dundee, if any at all.
4-1, Spartans 0, Sebastian Ross in 25 minutes. Arbroath, they've been on a great run, 1-0 up against Adrian Michael McKenna on 27 minutes. Hearts still in control at Tynecastle, Willie?
No, it's quite even now, I would suggest. A couple of chances for both from McGarry, who's playing really high in the left-hand side, cutting in, and he's had 2 strikes that have been well saved. I think it's settled down, but obviously Hearts have got that goal, and they look dangerous going forward. And where I think defensively the struggle is if you play with a 3 up, if you have 2 wide players. And Barry Robson is quite happy to let the 3 centre-backs take care of the 3 strikers. He did that against Häcken, particularly at Pittodrie, and I thought it was the wrong tactics, and he's doing it again today. Although Hearts kind of put their 2 wide players in a little bit, I would suggest if they played wide, then he's got a decision to make. What do you do with the wing backs? Do you take them back and make it a 5, or do you just allow your three central defenders to take care of their three, and I think they've been found wanting on a couple of occasions this season by doing that.
Hibs have the advantage at Rugby Park. Are they in control of the game there, Lee McCullough?
Yes, I think it's fair to say they are in control. They're looking very, very dangerous in the counter-attack with Boyle and Newhan. They've had a couple of half chances from distance, and they're just putting the pressure on. Shot for the edge of the box there. Yeah, I think it's fair to say they've been much better team. I think the Kilmarnock fans are starting to get a little bit frustrated with the way Kilmarnock have been playing and have played. They've looked a little bit of a threat just from set plays, long throws, corners, but definitely Hibs have been the better team so far.
Quite a quiet start to your game.
If,
just what's it, Michael? Derek, quite a quiet start to your game there for Park.
It's kind of panning out the way I thought it was going to be, Kenny. I mean, early doors, it was like both sides just flexing their muscles, you know, so competitive, not allowing each other to breathe whatsoever. But it's starting to open up a little bit, and Motherwell certainly having the better of it. Spittle's had a few opportunities, linking up really well with Slattery. There was a brilliant ball there from Miller. You know, lovely switch of play to Spittle, good touch and strike at goal. So Motherwell certainly having the better of it, but they're so well organised, this St Mirren side, so extremely difficult for Motherwell to try and break them down. But they're having the better of the play. They're in that St Mirren half, and they're starting to put a little bit of pressure on. Not really tested the keeper in terms of, you know, saves, but there's another opportunity there. Just a little give and go.
Oh, it's a great finish. Great finish from Maeda. The offside flag is up. This will be interesting. Scales plays a ball over the top. Maeda takes a lovely touch. It looked to me like it was tight because Maeda's that quick. I think the linesman thinks he's offside, so we'll see. But it's a magnificent touch over the head of Cammy Kerr. Cuts inside, drills a low left-footed shot into the bottom corner. But VAR will have a look at this to see whether the goal stands or not.
Yeah, you're right, Rory. It's tight. The angle that I seen, it was almost just that outside position, so really hard to tell. But we've seen one this afternoon in the early kick-off, St Johnstone against Rangers, that I don't think could have been any tighter. Just getting a better look at it now. I think he's marginally off. I think it's a good call from the assistant referee.
Tell you what as well, Leanne, like
it's a good run though. Great touch.
He's often criticised for his final product, but that touch and finish was magnificent from Maeda.
Yeah, back across goal. Really good.
We'll get confirmation. That's Dennis Muir 2, Stranraer Gregor Buchanan on 27 minutes. Spartans have equalised away at 4 for Michael Allen on 28 minutes. And Montrose now 2-0 up at home to Edinburgh City. Miller Thompson on 28 minutes. We're just awaiting that call at Celtic Park. It was a great finish by Maeda, you'd have to say. Fantastic.
And it's really tight,
technique.
Kenny. We're seeing it again there, and it's going to be a really tight call.
Yeah, he's so unbelievably quick, and that was my worry for this Dundee defence.
There's a chance. Bear can't. That's brilliant link-up play from Spittle, Slattery. The ball's played into Blair. The angle's always against him, but I don't think he quite gets the connection he wants, and it just goes agonisingly past that right-hand post. So real chance here for Motherwell to take the lead, but pass it up.
Yeah, it's good play, Derek.
Brilliant play.
Offside, goal disallowed.
Offside, that was very, very tight, no doubt about that. Let's then get to Dingle. It's a late start for you, Michael Stewart. What's happening there, Ross County against Livingston?
Yeah, there's not really been a great deal of goalmouth action so far. A couple of minutes ago, Simon Murray had a strike from the angle, made Shamal George work. It was a comfortable enough save for the Livingston goalkeeper. There's not really been anything else of note in the goalmouths at the moment. But both teams are probing, getting forward, but as I said, they've not been able to really open each other up at this stage of the game, and it's still 0-0.
Mikey, I was just having a wee look there with regard to that Aberdeen squad. I've got about 9 players, I think, that have left, but I get your point, because there's probably 4 that were regular starters, in McCrory, Ramadani, Scales and Pollock were the 4, and McDonald, who's on the bench, kind of found himself. But I understand what you're saying in terms of the overhaul of the starting 11. Was there really a need to change that as much as we've seen?
Yeah, you've got Watkins, Callum Roberts, Matty Pollock, Hayden Coulson,
Pollock was
Markandi.
Yeah, there's
they were all in Mitrovic. They were all in loan. So it is a few, Michael.
Leanne mentioned Pollock there, but you know, in terms of the bigger issue for me is when you look at the starting 11, it wasn't like you felt like there was a a real core of the team that had left that you had to replace, and bolster the squad as well. Now I appreciate obviously you're looking to increase the number of the squad to deal with the extra games, but it just feels like 14 is a serious number of players, and of course that does bring its own issue with trying to bed things in. You know, that, I mean, forgetting about European football, and I know this is going back a little bit, but when Hearts with Craig Levein for a number of seasons, and every window they saw a huge turnover of players, and it becomes very difficult to get any real continuity going. And it does become difficult to get that cohesion amongst the players. And when you couple in the fact that you've got European football, it's a tough ask.
Yeah, I think at the back it's a new back three, isn't it? Because it would be Pollock, Scales and McDonald would be the old back three. So this is a new back three that he's starting with, and maybe that's a reason for the goals flying in so far this season.
A new back five, really, when you look at it and you add Devlin and McGarry into it. So no, it's all change. There's not much consistency left at all.
Willie, you tell me. I mean, okay, it's a new back three, back five, or whatever, but regardless of whether they're new or of whether they're new or not, have you been impressed with what you've seen so far defensively?
No, not really. No, haven't seen much of Jensen. Rubezic looks as though he's got a mistake in him every game. He's been subbed a couple of times as well, and of course Gartenmann's just in. This is his first game, so you know I can plead that it's very early in the season for me as well, Michael.
I mean, Jensen, from what I've seen, looks like he. Jensen to me looks like he could, Hudson. He's a good size, looks comfortable in the ball. But my major concern so far has been Rubezic.
Is it over? Sorry, it was one to the back post, header down, and it looked as though it was behind Kel Roos. He actually kind of grabbed the ball from behind himself. I think it was a header from Alan Forrest who came on as a substitute, and the header came down. Leanne, you might see it, but Leisman's there. He didn't put his flag up, but it looked as though the goalkeeper was maybe out of position a little bit, and it was going to end up in the back of the net. But fortunately for Aberdeen, it didn't.
He gets lucky, Willie. Yeah, head's knocked down. He's ahead of the ball, but he manages to gather the knockdown at the back post.
Aston Villa have gone 1-0 up at home to Crystal Palace. Diaby with the goal on 34 minutes. The latest scores across Scotland this afternoon: Celtic 0, Dundee 0, Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0, Hibs 1, Motherwell 0, St Mirren 0, Ross County 0, Livingston 0. They kicked off at 3:15 in the lunchtime kick-off. St Johnstone 0, Rangers 2 in the Championship. Arbroath have gone 2-0 up now at home to Airdrie. Dundee United 1, Morton 0, Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 0. Annan Athletic 1, Stirling Albion 0, Cove Rangers 0, Kelty Hearts 2, Falkirk 0, Cooney the South 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Alloa 0, Montrose 2, Edinburgh City 0. In League 2, East Fife 1, Clyde 0, Elgin City 0, Dumbarton 0, Forfar 1, Spartans 1, Peterhead 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stenhousemuir 2, Stranraer 0. And in England, finished at lunchtime, Wolves 1, Liverpool 3, Aston Villa against Crystal Palace. It came through, they were 1-0 up. We'll just wait and see. It may have been chopped off, that goal. It is Fulham 0, Luton 0, Man United 0, Brighton 1, Spurs 0, Sheffield United 0, West Ham United 0, Man City 0. 5:30 start, Newcastle United against Brentford. Was that a chance for you, Michael?
No, I was just saying it sounded like there was a lot of goals there. A lot of 0-0s.
Yeah, it's been quite a quiet start. We've got some goals for that second goal for Arbroath had just come through. Jermaine Hilton on 35, so 2-0 up against Airdrie. Cove Rangers 2-0 down. That second Kelty goal. Billy Owens on 35.
That was a chance now. Ball came into the box from the right hand side for Ross County. Simon Murray was coming in around about the penalty spot, and he just knocked it back across, and it was Ryan Leake, the big centre half, was about to step on and volley it, but one of the Livingston defenders managed to nick in and flick it away. Still 0-0.
Oh, it's a chance, big chance for Dundee at the back post there. It was Zach Robinson. It was a ball down the left-hand side. It came from a free kick. It was Lammy who tapped it to Shaughnessy on the diagonal. Phillips misses it, and it ends up the left-hand side. It comes across, and it looks like Zach Robinson completely mishits the ball as McCallum McGregor now gives the ball away, and the crowd are starting to get a little bit antsy.
Good chance initially. Was it McCowan, Rory, that gets the first kind of bite at it, then it falls to Robinson at the back post, but you're right, big chance.
Kenny, it could have been, tell you, it could have been 2 or 3-0 to Dunfermline here at Hampden. Remember the name Callum McKenna, 16-year-old goalkeeper for Queen's Park. He did a fabulous save on the end of a really well struck free kick from Lewis McCann. He got down to his right in that. He's been very capable, very comfortable with the ball at his feet, just 16 as I said. Sam Fisher had a claim for a penalty for Dunfermline. It was rejected by Scotland with the referee, and actually just a moment ago was McCann on the end of a cross. Great break down the right by Dunfermline. McCann got in it and put it beyond the post, so it's Dunfermline very close to scoring, but they can't get ahead. And as I said to you, remember that name, Callum McKenna. I think there's a kid here going places.
Thank you to Chick Young. West Ham United 1, Manchester City 0. James Ward-Prowse on 36 minutes. Elgin City 1, Dumbarton 0. Connell Ewan with a goal there. Montrose now 3-0 up at home to Edinburgh City. Kane Hester with the third. Arbroath are 2-0 up on Airdrie but are down to 10 men. Ricky Little sent off on 38 minutes. Let's get back into the Championship. The title favourites Dundee United are ahead against Morton this afternoon. Good value for their lead there, Tyrone.
Well, they seem to have taken the foot off the gas a little bit since they broke the deadlock, courtesy of that Louis Moult 18th minute header. I mean, up to that point, they were pretty much in control of the game. Liam Grimshaw and Scott McMahon both having success on either flank. I should say, though, that just before Louis Moult did break the deadlock at the other end, Morton had a rare foray up the field, and it resulted in a Stephen Boyd long-range effort rebounding back off the post. But since United got that goal, Morton have really come into the game. They've enjoyed a lot of good possession. They've been getting themselves down either side, but they haven't really been able to work Jack Walton in the Dundee United goal. It's about 7 minutes until the break here at Dundee United at Tannadice, and it's still Dundee United 1, Morton 0.
Cove Rangers have pulled a goal back at home to Kelty Hearts. Mitch Megginson on 39 minutes. Cove 1, Kelty Hearts 2. So what is happening so far? So good for Dundee at Celtic Park, Rory Loy.
Yes, indeed, Kenny. They're defending the box exceptionally well. They're first to everything in terms of in the air and on the ground, and Trevor Carson is a steady figure in between the sticks as well. Dundee look at their most vulnerable when they've actually getting up the pitch to try and attack. Now, you know, you would imagine Celtic counter-attacking being fast-flowing football. It's not been that way. It's been long balls over the top from Maeda when Dundee have been up the pitch, and that was my concern for Dundee. Their two centre-backs aren't particularly quick. Cammy Kerr is rapid, and it's a great watch, him versus Maeda down the left-hand side, I have to say. But as you say, so far so good for Dundee. They've defended really, really well, looked really organised, and Celtic need to come up with the answers, because at this moment in time, they're not able to find a way through them. They're not moving the ball particularly quickly enough. And all in all, you know, the crowd's starting to get a little bit frustrated at the lack of goalmouth activity.
Big news this week, Rory, the injury to Abada, 3 to 4 months on the sidelines. What are you thinking about Yang? He's come in there in that wide area this afternoon. How's he looking?
Well, he started the game in the first 5-10 minutes really well, looked sharp, always looking to go on it, or to get on it. However, his confidence dropped. He's given the ball away a few times. He's now trying things he maybe wouldn't have tried before. He's got to the touchline a couple of times, but his delivery and his final ball hasn't been great. I think everything you would expect from a young player, Leanne, shows really good moments, however lacking that little bit of quality at times when it matters. However, there's no doubt in the quality he has got. You know, Abada's a young man as well, but his final product is exceptional.
Is he the type of winger similar to Abada that takes people on and gets at them, or is he more link-up play and get to the byline and deliver? Is he coming in the pitch?
Yeah, I would say no. He likes to. He's faced Beck up a few times and wants to get at him. He's got a step over. He's got a little bit of skill. I would say he resembles Abada more than Maeda. Maeda's, you know, all legs and running. But look, he's had moments in it. I think he looks like a good prospect. But it's just that little bit. And at times he's
finding confidence in front of that type of crowd as well, isn't it?
Especially if you've given the ball away a couple of times. A couple of times as well, he's looked up and passed the ball, and by the time he's lifted his head, he's passed that blue shirt, simply because he's not really on the same wavelength with his teammates at times, and that comes with game time and getting to play with the players around him. But look, I definitely think there's potential there, but for me, a finished article who's going to play every week at this moment in time for Celtic, I don't think so.
Man United equalised at home to Brighton. Hoyland with a goal there on 40 minutes, so one apiece in that game. The home side had the advantage Willie Miller at Tynecastle. What have you seen from the Dons in response?
They do, yes. I mean, Aberdeen are still in the game. There's no doubt about that, and it's still only the one goal. But Hearts have taken a fair bit of control, and Aberdeen have been a little bit sloppy in trying to pass out from defence, a little bit disjointed. So I think, Stephen Naismith will definitely be the happier manager. I think Barry Robson will be hoping that his players can get a little bit more cohesion, a little bit more understanding, be able to build the game up for themselves. And they look suspect at the back, in the wide areas in particular. Vargas on that occasion doing extremely well. They've won the corner, they've put it in. It looks as though it's going to be defended well, but they're definitely looking suspect in the wide areas, Aberdeen are. And I think Hearts are looking, the more likely team at the present.
Any sign, Lee McCulloch, of Kelly getting back into things at Rugby Park?
No, not at this moment. It looks like there's going to be a substitute goalkeeper coming on. O'Hara's going to come on for Dennis for Kilmarnock. I don't know what he's done. He passed the ball out and then just went straight down. But regarding to the game, no change at all. Still Kilmarnock looking to get it wide and get deliveries in the box for the big two up front, Vassell and Watkins. And Hibs, to say coming up to half time, to say what's Hibs' identity been is probably more cautious, but then looking a threat on the counter attack.
Lee, you would have come up against him obviously when you were at Hearts and things, and he's playing today. Eli Yuhan, any kind of opinions on him? I think he's got unbelievable ability, but very frustrating to watch. What do you think of him?
Yeah, so being on the opposite side, he's a definite threat. He's got pace to burn, he's got a trick at times, but then again, other games I watch him, you could potentially leave him on the ball, and that he's not so effective. So definitely got ability there. Just think he needs to bring a little bit of consistency to his game, Rory.
I think he's a cracking player, I really do. I think a bit of coaching and things, I think he'd be a fantastic player for someone. I think he's got a big future, but it's just that little last bit, isn't it, Lee? That bit where it matters.
Lee, folk used to say that about you back in the day, was it not? Just leave him on it.
Come on, Leanne, come on. I'll make my debut today and you're coming for me.
I couldn't resist, I couldn't.
You got to watch up. Derek Ferguson surprising. We haven't seen an opening goal there at Fir Park.
Not really, Kenny. I said it was going to be tight, but certainly Motherwell have the best moments. It's a joy to watch Spittle and Slattery at times, a little kind of combinations, little give and goes. They've been good to watch, but they're up against a St Mirren side that are so well organised, as we know, really fit. Gogic again, when I've watched him before, a midfield player, but he's just slotting in at the back and he just reads the game ever so well, and when they look as if they're going to cause a little bit of danger, Motherwell, more than often.
Big chance at Dingwall. It was a corner kick.
You like that, Lee?
Corner kick.
I thought it was Chick again, sorry.
Michael.
Yeah, it was a big chance in Dingwall. It was a corner kick for Ross County. It came in from Danda, out swinging. He got nodded down, and Jordan White was at the back post. He got it under control. Looked as if he was just going to slide into the back of the net, but Shamal George came out with a really good block. It's a second corner. The ball's slow. It looked as if it was a bit of looping at the back corner. It looked like DeLuca's managed to get the header away, and Livy just trying to clear their lines. The ball's still in and around the box. Danda's got it again. He swung it in this time. It goes right through without anyone touching it and drifts out of the back post for a by kick. I was just going to confirm it. I was sure that what they used to say about Lee Culloch was that he's left one on them.
Half time, Kenny. Motherwell 0, St Mirren 0.
It's half time at Tannadice, 1-0 Dundee United.
Derek, I need to tell you this week I had a conversation. I was having a chat with Graham Souness earlier in the week about talking about the Scotland team.
Name dropper.
And they were talking about your lad, Lewis. And he wasn't aware that Lewis was your son, and I pointed out that indeed he was. And he said, Derek Ferguson, he was a great player, And I said, why did you sack him in that case? So he rated you very highly, but he got rid of you, didn't he?
Are you there, David?
He's in the huff.
He's in the huff.
It's half time. He's away.
I think, to be fair to Derek, when he spoke about this before, he said he wished he'd listened to the messages that Graham, I think Ian McCall was another one, when they were there. That line's maybe just dropped off. Montrose now 4-0 up against Edinburgh City. Miller Thompson on 46 minutes. You're back with us, Derek?
Yeah, I'm just away for a pint there, to be honest with you.
You're away for a Kyogo.
Maybe that was a pint and a kebab. Maybe that was partly my problem. But no, I've made a lot of mistakes. So I'm saying, when you look at the modern day player, you know, they live their life the right way. They listen. They've got a great attitude. And I think certainly when I was a younger man, I think I was given advice that I maybe I should have listened to. But tell you what, it was a wonderful 7 years that I had.
Half time at Celtic Park. Celtic 0, Dundee 0. James Forrest very quickly up the tunnel there as well. So maybe a bit of activity at half time, but it is 0-0 at half time at Celtic Park.
Yes,
Spartans. Maybe away for a Kyogo. It's 0-0 at Hampden at half time as well. Kenny, Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline 0.
Thanks, Chick. Spartans are 2-1 up away at Forfar. Blair Henderson with a goal.
Half time at Tynecastle. 1-0 Hearts.
Yeah, it could be a big result for the home side there. Both clubs actually desperately in need of 3 points. It's been a slow start to the season for both. Half-time, Hamilton Accies 0, Alloa 0, Cove Rangers 1, Kelty Hearts 2, West Ham United 1-0 up against Manchester City at half-time. Annan 1, Stirling Albion 0. That's also a half-time scoreline for you. Fulham 0, Luton 0, Stenhousemuir 2, Stranraer 0. These are all half-times. Cove Rangers 1, Kelty Hearts 2, Wraith Rovers 0, Inverness Cali Thistle 0. Again, Cali Thistle desperately in need of some points on the board there. They are level though against high-flying Wraith Rovers at Starts Park. And some more half-times coming through. Stenhousemuir 2, Stranraer 0, and that's you up to date. We're just waiting on the games finishing. Montrose 4, Edinburgh City 0. That's also a half-time scoreline, and Spartans have gone in at the break 2-1 up away at Forfar. So we still have games playing. Don't forget Michael Stewart's game. That game in Dingwall started 15 minutes late because the Livingston team bus broke down, I think, just north of Aviemore, and still playing at Rugby Park, Lee McCulloch.
Yes, there's not been much change. I think the only thing that I would have liked to have seen, obviously Dennis has went off, the goalkeeper for Kilmarnock, and O'Hara's come on as substitute goalkeeper. I'd like to have seen him getting tested right away, but it's not really happened. The game's sort of filtered out, let's say. It's been scrappy. There's been a lot of turnovers of possession. Doig, I think that has gone off with a slight head knocking out to get a little bit of treatment, but I would imagine he'll come back on. It's been very stop-starty in the last maybe 10 minutes, so I think the referee's just about to blow for half-time.
That Manchester United goal has been chopped off, so they go in at half-time, a goal down at home to Brighton. Spurs 0, Sheffield United 0. That's also half-time. I gave you West Ham 1, Manchester City 0, Fulham 0, Luton 0, and Aston Villa, their goal was also chopped off, so 0-0 at home to Crystal Palace. Deep into first half stoppage time there. The lunchtime kick-off, Wolves 1, Aston Villa 3. Half-time whistle going there.
Half time at Kilmarnock, it's 1-0 Hibs.
Thank you to Lee McCulloch. What a start there for Nick Montgomery, his first match in charge of Hibs. I have to say there's been a fair bit of positivity around that appointment from the Hibs fans that I've seen commenting on social media. So all the half-time reports to come for you on Sportsound right here on BBC Radio Scotland.
Chance! And it's a goal!
The action from all the biggest games.
Oh, it's the second goal!
This is Open All Mics from Sportsound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland. Our first commentary today came from McDermott Park. It finished in Johnston 0, Rangers 2. Our 3 o'clock commentary comes from Celtic Park. Celtic at home to Dundee. There for us, Liam McLeod and Pat Bonner.
Yeah, Celtic were left frustrated in their last home game as St Johnstone held them to a goalless draw, and that is the half-time scoreline here. And Dundee this time frustrating the champions, though they have had opportunities. Indeed, Daisen Maeda had the ball in the net. A tight offside call went against the Japanese, though, after a long clip ball found him. It was a wonderful first touch before he executed it tremendously well into the bottom right corner. And after the VAR check, the flag had gone up before that, and the VAR agreed, and it was no goal. In fact, although Celtic had other opportunities, Maeda testing Carson, the Dundee goalkeeper has been pretty underworked. Too underworked for Brendan Rodgers' liking, and Dundee could quite easily have scored up the other end as well. A great save by Joe Hart to deny Luke McCowan, and when it bounced back from the Hart save towards Zach Robinson, he slipped just at the crucial moment with the goal gaping for him. So a real warning sign for Celtic. They are in a game here, Packie Bonner. They've had over 70% of the ball.
Yep.
They've spent most of the game camped deep inside the Dundee half, yet they could be behind.
Yeah, very. That's the threat. When it's 0-0, the opposition will always get a chance, but I just think they need more composure just in the final pass, on the final control inside the box. They've got into great areas, the intensity's been there, but sometimes it just takes, maybe they're too intense, and maybe they're not able to, and it runs right through the team. It's not just one player, it's every player seems to be having that sort of fealty that they just can't pick a pass, or they can't get the shot away, or they can't get that, maybe taking an extra touch, and that can, I'm sure that's what Brendan Rodgers will speak to them at half-time. Keep the intensity up to a point, but in the final third, show a little bit more composure.
Dundee without a win in 40 attempts against Celtic coming into this one. They could have the lead. Celtic could also have the lead. Half-time though, it's Celtic 0, Dundee 0.
Yeah, fairly sloppy from the home side so far at Celtic, but let's find out if they can improve in the second period. Let's then get to Tynecastle. Hearts against Aberdeen. There for us, Willie Miller.
Yeah, Kenny, half-time, it's 1-0 to the home side, and Hearts deserve to be in the lead. It was a good start from Aberdeen. They were very positive. They got the ball long and deep into the Hearts defence to get them tested out. Couple of good effort from wing-back James McGarry down the left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot. 2 strikes, but 2 pretty comfortable saves from Xander Clark in goal. At the other end, as Hearts started to take control of the game, Atkinson had a shot again straight at the goalkeeper. It was an easy one for Kel Roos to take, but in 14 minutes it was a good play down the right hand side. Oda coming in on top of McGarry. I thought McGarry has got to close him down early, then decided to close him down. It was a reasonably tight angle, but when Oda struck the ball, it deflected off of McGarry and it took it out of the reach of Kel Roos in goal to give Hearts that lead. They had to change Oda for Forrest. Forrest came on and had a header at the back post, which Roos seemed to be out of position but managed to recover. Boyce then had a shot just by the post. Should have done better, driving in, centre of goal. He decides to strike it and he doesn't hit the target. Unusual for him. Good opportunity wasted. And at the other end, Clarkson again, a quality player outside the box. He had a clear shot at goal and again put it by the target. So I think it's deserved at half-time. Half-time, Hearts are leading 1-0.
And their big rivals, Hibs, are off to a very good start under the new manager, Nick Montgomery, there at Rugby Park this afternoon. Away at Kilmarnock. There for us, Lee McCullough.
Hi there. Yes, I think the manager called on, Nick Montgomery called on effort, desire, hard work, and I think Hibs have shown that in abundance today. I think that their game plan is to sit and defend pretty deep and use Johan and Boyle as a counter-attack. It was nearly the perfect start for them after 11 seconds, Leanne, yeah? 11 seconds, they had a 1-on-1 with Boyle, and it was a great save from Dennis, and then getting the goal, second phase from a corner, Miller's tapped it in at the back post, and then the game went a little bit flat. Kilmarnock looking to get the ball wide and get the ball in the box as quickly as possible. They're going pretty direct, and just on the half-time whistle there, the fans at Kilmarnock, the home fans obviously, are not too happy. There was a good few boos there, and I think they're going to need to come out and start this second half with a little bit more of a purpose, with a little bit, maybe pass the ball a little bit better. There's one thing that happened right at the end of that half. Doig went off straight into the physio's room. I think if he comes back out, he'll be coming back out with stitches after a slight head knock. So all to play for, but I think Kilmarnock need to do better.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Thank you to Lee McCulloch. So Kilmarnock 0, Hibs 1 in that one. Let's get to Fir Park. Motherwell against St Mirren there for us. Derek Ferguson.
Yeah, Kenny, I thought it was going to be a tight affair here at Fir Park, and it's proved that so far. It's Motherwell 0, St Mirren 0. The opening stages of the game, well, they're pretty frantic, both sides working extremely hard, probably cancelling each other out of them, if truth be told. But as the half wore on, the home side started to force the play a little bit, created a few half chances. Payton with a shot that was blocked, then Spittle with a couple of efforts from distance, from, well, probably Wales' best moment. It came on the half hour. Spittle and Slattery, who I've got to say have been extremely good. They combined well just on the edge of the box to set up Bear. Was at the angle's always against them, with his shot just going inches wide. St Mirren themselves have had a couple of moments from Kilty, one a block shot from close in, then a shot from about 20 yards out just going over the bar. So not a lot between the sides, I've got to say. Maybe Motherwell just edging it in terms of chances. That's how we stand at half time. It's Motherwell 0, St Mirren 0.
Thank you to Derek Ferguson. It was a late start in Dingwall after the Livy bus broke down on the A9. Michael Stewart is there for us watching Ross County against Livingston. Michael.
Yeah, well, as we just approach half-time here at Victoria Park, there's not been a great deal to talk about. There's both sides have huffed and puffed, but they've not troubled either goalkeeper to a great extent. The closest has probably been Jordan White from a corner kick. He got nodded down to him. He was at the back post, around about the 6 yards out. He got it under control, and just when you thought he was going to slide into the back of the net, Shamal George came out and made the block and stuck it behind for another corner kick. Been an okay game, but just lacking that real goalmouth action as we approach half-time. Ross County have got another free kick here. Danda's going to swing it into the box. Shamal George makes it an easy punch clear of the 18-yard box, and looks as if we're going to be going in at half-time here 0-0.
Thank you to Michael Stewart. Let's then get into the Championship. Title favourites Dundee United at home to Morton. That's at Tannadice. Tyrone Smith, what's happening there?
Yeah, Kenny, at the break here at Tannadice, it's Championship leaders Dundee United 1, Morton 0. The home side, they started really well, enjoying plenty of possession, but they couldn't turn that early possession into chances, and they were almost made to pay because it was the visitors who had the first real opportunity when a Stephen Boyd long-range shot, it rebounded back off the post, a real let-off for the hosts. And moments later at the other end, it was United who took the lead. Declan Glass curled the ball in from the right-hand side, and Louis Moult got on the end of it, glancing a header into the net to break the deadlock in 18 minutes. That was his 5th goal of the season. I should say Morton, they finished the first half strongly, but they've been unable so far to work Jack Walton in the home goal. At the break, it's Dundee United 1, Morton 0.
And Chick Young is watching Queen's Park against Dunfermline.
It's Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline 0. Strictly speaking, it shouldn't be, though. Dunfermline have had 3 terrific chances. They've been denied by 16-year-old Callum McKenna in the Queen's Park goal. Remember the name, he's heading for the heights. This kid looks very comfortable with the ball at his feet, but he had a great save on the end of a free kick from Lewis McCann. A great save down to his right-hand side. Other chances as well for Dunfermline. Sam Fisher had a penalty claim, looked like one to me, denied. And then McCann should have done better on the end of a cross from the right. There's been 1 or 2 chances for Queens as well, of course, but not just as clean cut as the Dunfermline chances. It's a good game. The quality of the football is fine back at the National Stadium here at Hampden. Half time though, it's Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline Athletic 0.
Thank you to Chick Young. So the lunchtime kick-off, St Johnstone 0, Rangers 2. Half-time, Celtic 0, Dundee 0, Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0, Hibs 1, Motherwell 0, St Mirren 0, Ross County 0, Livingston 0. 43 minutes played in that game. Arbroath 2, Airdrieonians 0. The home side are down to 10 men. Dundee United 1, Morton 0, Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline 0, Raith Rovers 0, Inverness, Cally Thistle 0. In League 1, Annan Athletic 1, Stirling Albion 0, Cove Rangers 1, Kelty Hearts 2, Falkirk 0, Queen of the South 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Alloa 0, Montrose 4, Edinburgh City 0. In League 2, East Fife 1, Clyde 0, Elgin City 1, Dumbarton 0, Forfar 1, Spartans 2, Peterhead 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, and Stenhousemuir 2, Stranraer 0. And in England, lunchtime kick-off, Wolves 1, Liverpool 3. Andy Robertson on target for Liverpool. Aston Villa 0, Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 0, Luton 0, Manchester United 0, Brighton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Sheffield United 0, West Ham United 1, Manchester City 0, and Newcastle against Brentford. That is a 5:30 kickoff. So that's you right up to date with all the latest scores across Scotland this afternoon. A reminder, we have open all mics through until just around 5 o'clock, and from 5:30, the opportunity for you, the listener, to have your say. We have fans of various clubs ready to engage. Lots and lots of talking points. Interesting to hear from Rangers fans tonight after that very important victory for them at McDermott Park. Hibs fans, what have you made of the new era? Nick Montgomery's first game in charge. Hibs ahead away at Kilmarnock this afternoon. Hearts and Aberdeen both desperately needed the points today. It looks like Hearts are on course. Oda with a goal there on 14 minutes against Aberdeen. Motherwell St Mirren, stalemate there. Also stalemate Ross County against Livingston Leanne. So stories developing. What a start for the new Hibs manager.
Yeah, really good start, and as Lee mentioned, they almost got off to an even better start inside the opening 15 seconds of the game. But I think, across the board today, there's some important matches in terms of performances, but more about results and just getting points on the board. And I think when you're a new manager and you arrive in a new country and you're looking to try and settle quickly, if you can get that result, then you get a better chance to look at your squad and see how the players are going. But certainly a good opening 45 minutes. Yeah, lots of talking points today. Once again, there's a choice of listening for full commentary of Celtic against Dundee. Tune to BBC Radio Scotland on digital, Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds and 810 medium wave. And for open all mics, choose BBC Sounds and 92 to 95 FM.
The action.
What a moment! From all the biggest games.
This is Sports Sound.
Oh, it's a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Another goal!
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. So we are just waiting on the second half, getting up and running across the country, and as I said, we're with you right through until 7 o'clock this evening. Yes,
we've already played 4 minutes of the second half here at Hampden, so there are different time zones, but it's still Scottish football. Chance, what a miss. Dunfermline should have been ahead there. I think it's Lewis McCann again, and at the near post just doesn't get enough on it. Goes beyond the fact it was McCann coming in, should have been ahead. Still 0-0 at Hampden, Kenny. That was a chance though.
Yeah, interesting to see if they rue these missed chances. Hamilton Accies have gone 1-0 up at home to Alloa. Ewan Henderson on 47 minutes. Manchester City have equalised away at West Ham United. Doku with a goal on 46 minutes. Very interesting, Rory Loy, to see what response from Celtic in the second half.
Yes, indeed. There has been one change, maybe not the ones I was expecting, but Gustav Lagerbielke is on, and Nat Phillips has went off. He did go down at the end of the first half with a little knock, but didn't look too serious at all. I just wonder whether 45 minutes was always the plan for Nat Phillips today. Either way, we'll probably find out why that was after the game, but as for now, Gustav Lagerbielke is on as Turnbull cuts it back and Kyogo lifts it high and hands him over the bar. For most people that's a half chance, but for Kyogo that's a chance. Good play from David Turnbull. But you're right, Kenny, it's going to be an interesting opening 15 minutes to this half, because if it gets to the hour mark at 0-0, then the crowd will really start to make their feelings known, I'm sure. Celtic haven't been bad today, they haven't been poor, they've just been a little slower and more lethargic than the crowd have been used to over the last couple of seasons.
Is intensity very different from what it was under Ange Postecoglou?
Yes, I have to say that it is, and that's not to say it won't come back under Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers has managed an invincible treble-winning Celtic side, so you know he knows what he's doing. Of course he does, but I think his ideas and his new methods are just taking a little bit more time to come across than maybe he would like. But in terms of the intensity at this moment in time, you know, Ange Postecoglou's team played at 3-0 up the same way they did at 0-0. They were relentless. There's not that relentless siege on the opponent's goal from the start to the finish. It certainly hasn't been today anyway. And as much as Dundee have had a few scary moments, all in all, they've been pretty comfortable, whilst only showing one real moment of attacking prowess themselves. But I would say there's a marked difference, but they are littered with injuries as well, so maybe that's playing its part as well.
Stoppage here, Kenny, at Fir Park. Little head knocks. Mugabe and Gogic is off down the tunnel away to get some stitches, or else I don't know, is it glue or staples in this day and age? I'm not too sure. Mugabe's up on his feet with a bit of Vaseline on the head, so both of them look okay. Looks as if they're going to continue. St Mirren have made a couple of changes. Taylor and Boyd Munce have come off at half time, and on has went Bacchus and Dunn, so it looks as if we're going to get back underway. Looks as a big Mugabe, he's okay, he's ready to carry on. I think Gogic will be down with the doctor getting a few stitches. I don't know, what is it these days? Is it a glue? Is it staples? These guys, Leanne could tell me.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, glue I think is the most common one now, Derek, if I'm being honest, especially if it was carried out on the pitch. But yeah, I don't know, it's maybe just been a Vaseline job. They've maybe just cleaned it up, made sure it was like the actual wound itself was clean, and then put the Vaseline on it. Normally they would leave the pitch, I think, if they were going to get any more kind of serious treatment to come back on again. Rory, I was just going to come to you a second ago there. The game against St Johnstone earlier in the season for Celtic, the 0-0 draw. The 0-0 at half time was the first one at Celtic Park since the 18th of March that calendar year. I was looking 5 games into the season last year, Celtic had scored 21 goals. This year they've scored 8, and I know we're in Matchday 5 just now.
Yes, Chip.
It's a goal for Dunfermline, and it's Lewis McCann who's threatened all day long to put the Pars ahead. It was a great break. Queen's opened dramatic, but there's a wonderful bit of skill again from Callum McKenna. Created a move up the other end, but on the counter-attack, Dunfermline get down the end, Bockus on the left side. It came off a defender, came off the post as well, and eventually bounced over the line. We played 51 and a half minutes here at Hampden. It's Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline 1, Lewis McCann.
Yeah, Chick's been telling us that goal has been coming, no doubt about that.
There's a foul here right on the edge of the box. The referee has given Grant Irvin's given the free kick outside. Celtic I think they're arguing that it was possibly inside the box. It was Ryan Howley, he came out, was far too eager to get the ball, and he caught, I think it was Maeda who went down, but it looks like the free kick is going to be given.
Yeah,
they're checking possible penalty. They're looking to see if it was inside the box or not. Leanne, I don't know if you got
I was just going to say his right foot, is it Turnbull that is fouled?
Turnbull.
Yeah, his left foot's outside the box. Yeah, it's right on the line, I would say.
And line is inside the box, considered to be.
Good chance that this will be overturned and a penalty given.
Yeah, it could be a big moment there. A very frustrating first half for Celtic. Tony Docherty's side kept them at bay.
Penalty kick.
Yeah.
It's a factual one, so there's no need to go to the screen. It's either inside or outside. VAR have deemed it to be inside, and Celtic have a penalty and the opportunity to go 1-0 in front.
Huge opportunity for Brendan Rodgers' side. Odsonne Edouard has scored for Crystal Palace 1-0 away at Aston Villa. That goal coming on 47 minutes. Who's stepping up, Rory?
David Turnbull, who's grabbed the ball as far as I can see, and he will be the one to step up and try and put Celtic into a 1-0 lead against Dundee here. Oh, it's right down the middle, side of the foot. The keeper dives, Carson dives straight into the back of the net. The home crowd, I think it's more relief than joy at this moment in time, as the Dundee coaches point to their heads and say we need to keep our concentration here. But Celtic, it's hard to say they don't deserve to be in the lead. They have been the better team, they have created half chances, but Dundee will be disappointed in the manner it's come about. David Turnbull scores the penalty, 1-0 to Celtic, and there is 50 minutes on the clock. Yeah,
as you say, Rory, Celtic probably deserving of their lead, but if you're Tony Docherty, you're pulling your hair out, because the amount of work that they've put into that opening half of the game, and then to give away a foul like that unnecessarily in the edge of the box as well. Lots of Dundee bodies around David Turnbull.
Yeah,
he's not really going anywhere, even if if the ball comes across him, he's got his back to goal, he's got an awful lot to do.
See if you're panicking as well because you've not been defending particularly well the whole game and Celtic have been cutting you open. I can see that panic.
I've got a goal! It's a brilliant cross from Strain. Is that number 3? Yes, I think it's Tanzer. Come right in at the back post. It's a brilliant cross. It's out swinging away to that back post area and he just arrives. I tell you what, it's a great finish because he takes it on the volley, goes side foot on the volley, doesn't go with the laces, but because the pace is on the ball and he just guides it into the back of the net. And probably Motherwell with the better chances, a couple of chances already in the second half, shots from distance, but St Mirren take the lead.
I'm just going to look at it now. Great finish.
Controlled, wasn't it?
The delivery from Strain is on the money as well, though, Derek, isn't it?
And the ball comes from a long way. He's coming in at pace, so he's got to keep his eye on it. And it's all about the contact, isn't it? And he gets great contact on it and just
really
guides it.
It's almost the side foot he uses, just to, as you say, to guide it. Because it's such a difficult one to put it back across goal, but the powers in the ball, the accuracies in the delivery, it's a huge goal, could be a really important goal in that game.
And right in front of the big away support there, Derek.
Yeah, and there's a great wee atmosphere in here. It was building today, and I said deservedly so, because these two teams have started the season extremely well, and it's great to see the St Mirren support away there. What do they call them? The ultras in this day and age. I love that. I think it's brilliant for the game. Yeah, and we've got the kind of small contingent as well away to my right hand side, the Motherwell fans, the Motherwell ultras. They add the atmosphere. We need that at the stadium. So it was a brilliant finish in front of all those fans.
Cove Rangers have equalised against Celtic Hearts. Mitch Megginson with the second of the game there. That's on 52 minutes, 2 apiece. And
Kenny, they're checking that.
Spartans 2.
Sorry to butt in there, but they're checking. I don't know whether it's an offside or whether something's happened, but
they'll just check it naturally anyway, Derek. Every goal they'll check. Some might take a bit longer than others, just depending on the bodies, the type of delivery. Probably offside, I would imagine.
Yeah, we're okay, Leanne.
All good.
Goal St Mirren.
Yeah, goal for St Mirren. So the away side ahead there. The home side are in control. Willie Miller at Tynecastle.
Yes, they are. So much so that that was a corner just coming in, but it was a poor head and it goes out for a goal kick. No, it's another corner kick, is it? Anyway, that's not vitally important at this stage. Aberdeen have changed their formation. They've went to the 4 at the back with Jensen going to left back and McGarry going forward. So they're now matching up with Hearts a 4-3-3 formation, which might help them. It's been pretty even in the second half. There's not been any real opportunities of note as yet, and when you kind of a match up, it tends to become a little bit stalemate perhaps. A very tight pitch here as well, and there's not much room, and the players are working extremely hard to close each other down, so we're not really seeing players getting much time in the ball at all. It's still with Hearts in front. They've got their nose in front. They'll be happy with that, and it's a pretty even game in the second half so far, Kenny.
Yeah, it could be a huge result for Stephen Naismith. A lot of fans have been very unhappy at the managerial structure there, the slow start to the season. They haven't been scoring goals in the league, but Aberdeen on a really poor run of form.
It's a big chance for Luke McCowan. Carnicare steals the ball. It's a short pass into Maeda. He runs up the pitch. He finds Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan passes the ball and gets it again and ends up in a position, and he's capable, Luke McCowan, centre of the goal, right on the 18-yard box, opens up his left foot, side of the foot, and he goes right past Joe Hart's post. But if it was any other player, I'd be saying it was a half a chance, but that was perfect for Luke McCowan and a big chance gone for Dundee.
Yeah, they played very well, you'd have to say. Dundee and their return to the top flight has been a decent start for Tony Dockett's side.
What a save. It's another wonderful ball from Strain. It's Mandron into the back post. Great header down. I tell you what, it's good save from Kelly. Although where it must have come back off him. Looks as if they're giving a bad kick, but they're piling on the pressure at the moment. St Mirren obviously taking a lot of confidence from taking that lead, and that's another great. It's a great ball from Strain. He put some great deliveries in, and that was another one.
Yep, 2-0 for Brighton away at Manchester United. Confirmation of that second goal for Mark Watley in 52 minutes. It's 2 apiece against Spartans in that game. Stennismuir 3, Stranraer 0. Gregor Buchanan on 58 minutes. Actually rated up to date with the latest score lines. Let's then get back to Rugby Park. Lee McCulloch is there for us. Kilmarnock against Hibs. Anything at all from the home side, Lee?
Absolutely nothing. Dodge went off at half time. Lafondra come on. He's just playing. They went to like a 4-2-3-1 formation. Dodge went off ahead. No, nothing. Lyons has been booked. Fish has just been booked. It is so scrappy. Nobody's got their foot in the ball. There's none of the teams have had control of the game so far. It's petty. There's silly fouls going on. To be brutally honest, I've not enjoyed the first 10 minutes of this half.
We love honesty in this programme, nothing better. Thanks to Lee McCulloch there. Tyrone Smith is at Tanner East and Dundee United against Morton. What's happening, Tyrone?
Yeah, still 1-0 to Dundee United. In fact, they had a great opportunity just a couple of minutes ago. Declan Gallagher's, oh my goodness me. Well, I was saying they had a great opportunity, but your timing's perfect. It's now 1-1, an absolute howler at the back for Dundee United. Real confusion. I think it was Gallagher who tried to head the ball back to his keeper. He didn't see Robbie Muirhead was lurking behind him. He got in between the two of them, and he had the easiest task in the world to tap the ball into the net from about a yard out. So it's now Dundee United 1, Morton 1.
Could be a big goal in that game. Let's then give you the latest score. Celtic 1, Dundee 0, Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0, Hibs 1, Motherwell 0, St Mirren 1, Ross County 0, Livingston 0, but 15 minutes behind in that game. In the Scottish Championship, Arbroath 2, Airdrie 0, both sides down to 10 men. Tyrone just bringing his news of that equaliser for Morton United 1, Morton 1, Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline 1, Raith Rovers 0, Inverness, Cally, Thistle 0 in League 1, Annan Athletic 1, Stirling Albion 0, Cove Rangers 2, Kelty Hearts 2, Cove fighting back from 2 goals down, Falkirk 0, Queen of the South 0, Hamilton Accies 1, Alloa 0, Montrose 4, Edinburgh City 0 in League 2, East Fife 1, Clyde 0, Elgin City 1, Dumbarton 0, Forfar 2, Spartans 2, Peterhead 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Stennismuir 3, Stranraer 0, and in England, Aston Villa 0, Crystal Palace 1, Fulham 0, Luton 0, Manchester United 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Sheffield United 0, West Ham United 1, Manchester City 1. The lunchtime kick-off finish, Wolves 1, Liverpool 3, 5:30 start. Newcastle United at home to Brentford. Some changes here at Celtic Park, Rory?
Yes, indeed, and that's a noise you can hear. And the two going off are Yang, who will have better days in a Celtic shirt, not his best performance by a long stretch, and David Turnbull has made way as well, and on has come Rio Hatate and new signing Lewis Palma. Now Dyson Maeda, as soon as he's seen Palma on the touchline, made his way to the right hand side, so it looks like Lewis Palma is more comfortable and will deploy himself on the left hand side, and he's just about to take on Cammy Kerr in a 1v1 situation. He's retained possession and went back out, but those are the two changes for Celtic, and it remains 1-0 to Celtic.
Thank you to Rory Loy with that update from Celtic Park. Celtic getting that goal from the penalty spot. David Turnbull on 51 minutes. We kicked off today with a 2-0 victory for Rangers. Danilo on 60 minutes. He was taken off injured, fractured cheekbone for him. Rabi Matonda, a really nice finish with a second of the game there on 79 minutes. Derek, just talk to us about what works for this St Mirren side. There's an awful lot of quality. Ryan Strain's a player that I know a lot of the pundits in this programme have spoken highly of.
I tell you what, Kenny, they're brilliant without the ball.
Goal.
You know?
Goal.
Yep, take it away.
Yeah, I think it's Venti, 2-0 to Hibs. Very scrappy game. I think somebody's cut in. I couldn't see who it was. It just fed Venti with a very good finish. The home support are going crazy at their team's performance, but Hibs starting this half very good with a goal.
Yeah, tremendous start for Nick Montgomery. A chance elsewhere.
It's a strike from Vargas from right side. takes it from about 25 yards at the angle. Kel Roos totally beaten. He just stands there and watches as it strikes the far post, crossbar and post, and come back out to safety. Quite amazing strike. So unlucky that Hearts doesn't go 2-0 up here. Quite a sensational strike from the winger, and it comes off the upright and crossbar.
Yeah, great effort, Willie. Just seen that in the screen, and Lee, good assist. I think it was Eli Yuan with the reverse pass for Venti, and a good finish down to the keeper's right hand side.
Yeah, thanks, Leanne. Great timing, because honestly
that's a big goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know how important that second goal is, especially when you've been under a bit of pressure and results haven't quite been going your way.
Yeah, the players since the start of the game, the body language has been different. Organisation has been a little bit different.
Kyogo's done it again! A wonderful ball into the box from Matt O'Reilly, and he glances it into the corner. The movement was frightening. Hatate has made a difference as he's come on already. Now Dundee aren't happy because they've got Zach Robinson down on the far touchline. It's clearly not a head knock. Do not blame Celtic in the slightest for playing on, and the ball is magnificent, the movement magnificent, and the header's magnificent to make it Celtic 2, Dundee 0.
Kyogo looked as if he'd an awful lot of time to get himself up, Rory, and deliver the header. The angle I've seen, I'm not sure, was it tight in terms of being offside or onside, or is the movement just so good?
It looked to me like he just peels in between the two centre backs, and Ricky Lamy gets caught underneath the ball, and his hang time in the air, Kyogo's magnificent. And then
he's onside. I've just got to look at it just now.
It's a brilliant run, isn't it?
Goal!
Goal, yes!
Goal for Kilmarnock, answered back brilliantly. It's that man Vassell who struggled for fitness this season. Is a great controlled finish into the ground. There's a little build-up play before the Armstrong out wide right, but it's a great reaction finish. It's game on here.
We've got a red card at Tannadice. It's all going a little bit wrong. We suspect now for Dundee United it's a straight red for Matthew Cujo. Not 100% sure exactly what it's for. It was the assistant referee spotted something. We think it was for a raised arm, but consulting with his fellow officials, he went up to Matthew Cujo, gave him a straight red card, and it's now Dundee United 1, 10-man Dundee United 1, Morton 1.
A real test now for Jim Goodwin's side. The goals have been flying in, so Edinburgh City have pulled a goal back. Lee Hamilton against Montrose, but Montrose have hit straight back a minute later. So Montrose 5, Edinburgh City 1. Venti with that second goal for Hibs there. That made it 2-0, but as Lee was telling us, the home side right back in it, thanks to Vassell. Elsewhere, Kyogo, what a great run by Kyogo. Lovely finish, 63 minutes, Celtic 2, Dundee 0.
And a goal! That is unbelievable. He's done it again. Lewis McCann with a free kick. He's fully 30 yards out, and he just whips it into the top right-hand corner of the goalkeeper, Callum McKenna. What a strike that is. Quite fabulous. And it is Dunfermline 0. Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline 2, 66 gone.
Willie Miller.
Liam Boyce makes it 2 for Hearts. Ball played down the right-hand side. It's not clear. Poor defending from Aberdeen. The cross comes in. It bobbles about in the box. Liam Boyce is there to strike to give Hearts. They have been pressing. They have been pushing. They've got that second goal.
Oh, Alistair Johnson's just hit the bar, I think. The touch from Maeda is wonderful. Lays it straight into his path with a back heel. I think he comes off the crossbar. I cannot believe it's not went in the back of the net. But Celtic have come to life since the two substitutions. Rio Hatate has made a real difference. And as we spoke about, Kyogo is came to life as well. I watched clips of him in his international appearances for Japan as well. And there's one clip where his movement, you know, the defender knows where he is. One bit of movement from Kyogo. Defenders all over the shop. Opens up the space and he's got a big chance. Like I said, Hatate's made a big difference. Celtic are now a joy to watch at this moment in time.
Another change, Kenny, for St Mirren. McMenamin has come off. Lasagna has went on. And to answer your question, Kenny, I was just about to say they're brilliant without the ball. St Mirren, their work ethic, they work their socks off. They're so well drilled, so well organised, and I'm thinking about the chances that Motherwell have had today. There've been shots from distance, from outside the box, you know, and they've played well at times. Motherwell get blocks in.
Goal for Celtic, and it's Matt O'Reilly this time. I have to say, It's a good run from Kyogo. The defending's more questionable this time, I would say. It's down the right-hand side. It's cut back. Matt O'Reilly arriving right on cue. He missed a couple of these exact chances against St Johnstone. No mistake today. Into Trevor Carson's bottom corner. Dundee need to be careful now because that's Celtic 3, Dundee 0.
Yeah, it's a good goal. Really well worked goal from a Celtic perspective, Rory. Kyogo's movement again, Fiente out. Right. Unbelievable, just stretches the back line. And Matt O'Reilly's so good at picking up those types of areas. We know he's missed a couple of chances this season. Brendan Rodgers is wanting more from him. He wants goals. Well, he gets it today.
Right, the goals have been absolutely flying in the past few minutes. Elgin Sechi 2, Dumbarton 0, Liam Harvey on 64 minutes. Confirmation of Kyogo's goal, that was on 63 minutes. Matt O'Reilly has since added a third for Celtic. Annan Athletic 2, Stirling Albion 0, Dominic Docherty on 64 minutes. Vinicius has scored for Fulham at home to Luton, that's 1-0 there. Confirmation that Kyle Vassell goal for Kamana back in against Hibs, that on 61 minutes. Chick told us a double for Lewis McCann. Dunfermline 2-0 up away at Queen's Park, 51 and 67 minutes. That goal for Liam Boyce at Tynecastle timed at 64 minutes. Hearts 2, Aberdeen 0, and Annan have gone 3-0 up now against Stirling Albion. Tommy Goss on 67 minutes. Luke Donnelly's equalised for Aldo Athletic away at Hamilton Accies. That's on 69, and that Matt O'Reilly goal just coming through now, 67 minutes. Let's then get to Michael Stewart. A delayed start for you in Dingwall. What's happening there, Michael?
Pretty much the same as the first one. To be perfectly honest, it's a game that's lacked a real cutting edge and that final bit of quality that's going to open the game up. And I do think if we're able to get that first goal, it might just help the game to breathe a little bit and force the sides into taking a little bit more of a risk. At the moment, it's still 0-0, and it's just sort of petering along without anything really happening. I can confirm, though, I was just talking to the Livingston media guys, that they didn't travel up the day. They actually stayed over in Aviemore, and the bus couldn't make the journey from there to Dingwall without breaking down, unfortunately, though.
Right, that's good information. Thanks to Michael Stewart. It was a 15 minutes delay there. Back at Celtic Park, Rory Lloyd. Celtic cruising now, and we can see the importance of Rio Atati to that Celtic team. Yeah,
I mean, the second he came on, he linked up with Kyogo. 2-3 passes, 1-2s, and they got a free kick right in the edge of the box from it. Kyogo's now off, and O is on. I'm always slightly disappointed when I'm at covering a Celtic game and Kyogo comes off. I love watching him, I really do. He's someone that you pay your money for to come and watch, and he gets you in the edge of their seat. He's honestly, you can take so much from watching him as a young player, or any player really. He's magnificent, he really is. He's now on the bench, and O gets his opportunity to come on and try and grab a goal. But yeah, Celtic in cruise control now, and I've been in Dundee's position before. I've come here and got a couple of draws, but I've also been in that end where you're only 1-0 down with 10-15 minutes to go, and you walk away with a 5-0. So they need to be careful, Dundee, because, you know, as much as they deserve to be beaten today, I don't think they deserve to be beaten by 5 or 6. So it just depends really how much more of a go Celtic have a go at it now. But I think Tony Dockett will be slightly concerned that they score a couple more, but we'll wait and see.
Stenhousemuir now 4-0 up at home to Stranraer. Adam Brown on 72 minutes. Peterhead have gone ahead against Bonnyrigg Rose. Hamish Ritchie on 70. East Fife now 2-0 up at home to Clyde. Alan Troughton with the second goal there. How would you assess the Aberdeen performance this afternoon, Willie Miller?
Not great, Kenny, to be perfectly honest. You know, again, leaking goals at the back and not really creating much at all going forward. They've struggled throughout this game to create anything. You know, the first half it was McGarry, 2 strikes, maybe a Clarkson shot from outside the box. Second half they've had virtually nothing inside the Hearts penalty box either, so very, very disappointing. They've had to change shape, make personnel changes as well. It's looking, although they've had that rest, it's looking the same old story. Quite a tired looking performance. Hearts deserve to be in the lead, there's no doubt about that. They've had the 2 goals and 2 or 3 other opportunities. They've kind of bossed the game. So from an Aberdeen point of view, yeah, it's more misery for Barry Robson, that's for sure. And it could get worse because Hearts are still creating chances. Shankland in, but good defending. So it's one-way traffic at this moment in time. and it's all going into the Aberdeen penalty box.
Kelly back in at Rugby Park. Liam McCulloch, on you go.
I was just going to say, Willie, I mean, see when you heard Barry Robson before the game, you know, straight off the bat being asked, you know, what do you think about the slow start, and it was Europe. Do you not feel that gives a bit of an excuse to players as well? And I remember last season, I never heard that from Hearts at all. It was just a case of, it is Europe, we've got to get on with it. I just felt he was straight onto it, you know, and it comes across as a bit, you know what it's like, you give players an inch and they're going to take a mile.
Oh, no, I'll let you send you down a copy of the Evening Express that I do on a Tuesday, and I pointed that out to him this Tuesday, Michael. So it's in the post. It's in the post. You cannot use that as an excuse. It's just not acceptable. You know, you work hard to get into Europe. You get yourself prepared to take part in Europe. You don't use it as an excuse. You can't use it as an excuse. He's got no reason to use it as an excuse. This afternoon, they're well beaten again.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Kilmarnock back in it at Rugby Park against Hibs. Lee McCulloch, any sign of that equaliser?
Yeah, they're just in swinging corner here. They've got half a chance. Oh, it's Keystone Cops in the box, honestly. It's turned into, the first 10 minutes of this half was terrible. It's actually the Vassell goal has sparked the game alive now. It's a little bit end-to-end. There's still not one team got control yet, but the momentum is starting to swing towards Kilmarnock now. They've made a change. Brad Lyons has come off, David Watson's come on in the middle of the pitch for a little bit of energy, so I think with 20 minutes left, this is going to be a cracker of a finish.
Let's hope so. Manchester United now 3-0 down at home to Brighton. Yao Pendro with a third goal on 71 minutes. Was that a chance somewhere?
Yeah, it was Motherwell. It was just Big Mugabe on the turn around about the penalty spot. Must have been a deflection, obviously. It's certainly a deflection. It's been passed for a corner kick, but Motherwell just pressing St Mirren back. But as I say, they're that well organised. You can tell that they work on defending from corner kicks, free kicks, but Motherwell certainly putting the pressure on, looking for that equaliser as we get into the last 15 minutes.
There's a goal! Ross County 1-0 up, and it's Simon Murray with the ball in the back of the net. Just a simple ball across the face of the goal, and Simon Murray getting himself between the post and slides it into the back of the net to put the home side 1-0 up.
Yeah, it's been a very good start to the season for Ross County, Leanne, isn't it?
It has, very good. Simon Murray just cracks me up when he celebrates. Such a serious character, but just goes crazy at the same time. It's a huge goal.
He did that Rugby Park, Leanne. I noticed that.
I know. He keeps up the same speed that he maintains throughout a game, and that continues through the celebration. But he does very well because Michael actually gets a flick on round the corner for Jordan White, and as you say, then gets himself back in between the sticks and gets the all-important touch. Good team goal from County.
Paolo Bernardo is now on for Celtic. Matt O'Reilly has went off, so again someone else for the Celtic fans to have a look at. He's went into the middle of the pitch. Just on Dundee, I have to say, they've actually had some nice passages of play in this second half, and I think I've seen enough from them today to feel that they're going to be competitive within the division this year, and that's credit to Tony Docherty, because as much as it's 3-0, that can happen at Celtic Park. They've not done too badly at all.
Well, a big shock down in England on the cards. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Sheffield United 1. Gustavo Hamer with a goal there on 73 minutes. It had been a terrific start for Ange Postecoglou, no doubt about that. Man United have pulled the goal back against Brighton. Niebre with a goal on 73 minutes, but that could be a terrific scoreline for Brighton away at Old Trafford this afternoon. So Celtic cruising now against Dundee. Hearts the same against Aberdeen. A really close encounter now at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock back in it thanks to Kyle Vassell, and Motherwell threatening there at Fir Park, Derek Ferguson.
They certainly are. They're having a right good go. They've just made a change. Bear has went off, Shaw has come on, and there's a little, oh, why are you not hitting? There's the chat. What a chance that is. I think Page should have the shot. It's perfect just to go for the curler. He opts to play it, plays it to Shaw, who's only about, what is he? He's about 12, 13 yards out. I tell you what, I know he's just on the park, but he's got to be hitting the back of the net. What an opportunity that was. It don't come any better than that.
That's a huge chance.
Kenny, I think I think there's a check here for a possible red card, I think, because the yellow card was given. It was a bit of a
I seen a
strange
flash
one.
of the yellow cards. Was it Oberlai?
Yeah.
Did Murray get booked as well?
Anyway, the game's getting played on. It was straight for a kick-off, and Simon Murray was going to close down the centre. And you see all the time now where it ends up being like rugby, where folk are like running and trying to block and manhandle. Jason Holt was blocking Simon Murray from running at the ball. The two the players clattered into each other, and there was a bit of a sort of tussle between them. And then Oberlai came in behind them as well, and he shoved Simon Murray. The free kick was given to Ross County, and I think it was Oberlai that was eventually given the yellow card. And they've obviously checked it. Well, I think from what I saw, and it wasn't. It was out the corner of my eye a little bit. It certainly wasn't a red card, and thankfully they've not been able to brandish that.
Leon, talk to me about that chance. He's got to put...
No, I was just going to say that, Derek. I just wonder if Shaw's... you cannot afford to switch off as a striker, but you're saying it's on to take the shot. I don't know whether it catches him by surprise and he just loses that impetus and that concentration, but he's got to do better. At that stage of the game, you've been introduced for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Far too safe.
Because I was thinking Payton, when the ball was played to him edge of the box, I just thought it was made to measure. To take the shot, and I was so surprised when he played the pass, but when he did, I think that's what you're just describing. Shaw he wasn't expecting it. He's maybe just not quite, as you said, switched on. But when it comes to you're only what 10 years, not even that 10 years out.
Derek, how's young Lennon Miller been today? I know they're getting beat, but
listen, he's a terrific football player. He keeps it simple. He keeps the team getting up the park. He doesn't try anything too difficult. Physically, he handles it no problem whatsoever. The thing is, and probably the biggest compliment you can give him, he makes the game look easy.
Yeah.
That's what good players do.
Manchester City are 2-1 up now. They've come from behind away at West Ham United. Bernardo Silva on 76 minutes. Dennis Muir cruising against Stranraer. Adam Brown with the 5th goal on 78 minutes. That's you right up to date with all the latest scores. We'll be hearing Willie Miller from Aberdeen fans in the 5:30 segment of the programme. They've got to be hugely disappointed with the way things have been going.
Well, if it feels like this, Kenny, absolutely, yeah. I think the performances have not been good enough. The performance here hasn't been good enough. They've still got maybe 12 minutes plus stoppage time added on, but they haven't shown anything in the second half that would suggest that they could turn it round. They've got a corner though, it's thrown in. It has been defended, and again, lacking creativity, no control in midfield. And at the back, giving up goals, and Hearts have had a number of other opportunities in the second half, not clear cut, but enough to suggest that Aberdeen aren't that solid unit. Even going from the 3 to the 4, it still hasn't worked. So it is desperate times. I'm sure some of the Aberdeen fans will like to give you their opinion on how the season is going.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. It'll be interesting to hear from Barry Robson. Leanne, I always feel he puts an incredibly positive spin on some of the games, certainly that I've watched.
No, absolutely. I was actually going to ask Willie there, and I know you always go on as well about the undisclosed fee. But the decision not to... You would have thought Aberdeen at the end of the season would have had an option to buy Liam Scales, for example. Now, how much would it have cost them to buy Liam Scales, a player who virtually played every game last season for them? Maybe about $1 million? Do you think it would have been as much? Yeah. Do you think that's expensive for a player for Aberdeen? Like, what sort of money do you think they've spent in those 13 players that they've brought in?
Yeah, I don't know if they've went for one player as much as $1 million. I think it's been, maybe about half of that. But I don't know. That's the issue that I have. Why don't they just tell the fans and tell everybody how much they're paying for these players that they're bringing in? Why has it got to be a secret? It doesn't have to be like that. It would be good to know how much they're spending. It would actually be able to give us a bit of support for the board and the chairman. Somebody suggested that it might put the manager under more pressure. I don't buy that whatsoever. No. If you're getting supported by the board, then you should be able to accept how much they are going to print, in terms of what they're actually spending. Liam Scales is a great example. I think they were hoping to get him back in loan, but I thought he was a very good performer for them last season. I don't know if there was efforts made to actually sign him in a full-time contract or not.
Kilmarnock, 2 each now, straight for a corner. I can't actually see who's headed it in. Leanne, you'll need to help me out there. Tremendous ball in.
Yeah.
Number 4, Joe Wright. Joe Wright with a front post run, flick, glancing header into back post. 2 each now, absolute game on.
No, it's a good goal, Lee. Sorry, I'm just a slight delay behind you, even when you're describing it. Brilliant header, great delivery. Is it total capitulation from Hibs, or is it credit to Kilmarnock?
I think it's got to be credit to Kilmarnock. The second half started terribly. I think they've gained a little bit of confidence for the Vassell goal. And again, if you look at even Aberdeen, when Derek McInnes was the manager of Aberdeen, set plays were crucial in his sort of forte, and I think Kilmarnock have been the same as well.
It's a joke of a header, because he's actually beyond the front post, but it's all in the delivery. The pace is there, but he does so well to get the contact on it, to redirect it back across goal. He heads it downwards so it comes back up off the surface. A really good goal, attacked it really well.
No penalty claims today, Leanne, whilst the ball was hitting the net. Rugby Park.
No, Derek McInnes will be delighted. Honestly.
Terrific fight back, you have to say, from Kilmarnock out of that game. Kilmarnock 2, Hibs 2. Joe Wright with equaliser on 79 minutes. Bonnyrigg Rose have equalised late on from the penalty spot. Neil Martinuke on 80 minutes. Peterhead 1, Bonnyrigg Rose 1. Just a consolation for Edinburgh City. Danny Handling on 81 minutes. Montrose 5, Edinburgh City 2. So still very tight at Fir Park. Derek Ferguson.
Yeah, and you look at the game as a whole, and Motherwell don't deserve to lose. This is, if they're going it was just a ball in there from Subghent to Shaw, looked as if the header was going to nest on that top corner, but Rory's just talking about Lennon Miller there. Not only does he make the game look easy, but it's just he's wonderful at kind of anticipating, and he just anticipated a pass here, and as soon as he gets it doesn't look to. And when I'm seeing keeping the ball and making it look easy, he doesn't just play the safe pass, he looks to play it forward at times, but Motherwell had so much of the ball going forward, created chances, but they've rode their luck a little bit, St Mirren, but when they've had their opportunity, they've took it, and we're going into, I don't know what the scoreboard says 16 minutes 43, obviously that's not correct.
Big chance for Dundee, he's missed it. I don't know how. I tell you what, Lagerbielke has struggled for pace a couple of times. He's absolutely treading water, and I don't know if you would consider Luke McCowan to be overly quick or pacey, but I mean, he absolutely burns Lagerbielke up, and he cuts it back to the striker, and he blazes over. I don't know how good a chance it is for Bakayoko, Leanne. You'll have a better look at it than me, but it was a big chance for Dundee, because Luke McCowan cuts back inside and he can almost shoot himself.
It's a huge chance. I actually thought Liam Scales would get the contact on it. I think he just does enough to put him off, to be fair. It's a huge chance. I think Bakayoko thought he was going to have more time than he did, and Liam Scales does really well just to get back in with the sliding challenge, and as I say, just puts him off at the last second.
Yeah, well, Bakayoko earlier in the game was running in a foot race with Lagerbielke, and Lagerbielke had a 10-yard head start. He did get to the ball first, but Luke McCowan ran past him there, and he was really struggling to get back in, Lagerbielke. It looks like he lacks pace.
Let's get to Tannadice Morton right back in that game. Tyrone Smith, what's happening?
Yeah, as you'd probably expect, now that they've got the advantage, or the numerical advantage, following the sending off the straight red card for Matthew Cujo, Morton have really come into this game. They're giving it absolutely everything, causing Dundee United all sorts of problems, but the problem is they're not really working the United keeper, but they are giving it a right good go here. Dundee United, though, just with a free kick right in a very dangerous position, about 25 yards out. It's Glenn Middleton who's standing over it. He's just going to lob it into the mixer. Oof! And I think it was Louis Moult got his head in the end of it and looked like it had hit the junction of the crossbar and the post. So it's turning into a cracking game here at Tannadice with about 5 minutes to go. It's still 1-1.
Arbroath cruising against Airdrie, both sides down to 10 men. Jay Bird with the third for the home side there. Arbroath 3, Airdrie 0. Lee McCullough, did you see this comeback at all? Was it on the cards in any shape or form?
Absolutely not. I think the fans were getting frustrated, Kilmarnock fans, really frustrated, but then there was just a lift all around the stadium. Even the players' body language changed with that Vassell first goal. You hands down just now, I don't know. We'll need to wait and see what's happening. There are a couple of changes coming on. I think the last 10 minutes, 8-10 minutes is going to be really, really exciting. It's end to end. Both teams are sort of soaking up the pressure and hitting in the counter-attack, so it's going to be an exciting finish.
Yeah, looking forward to that. A big goal in the Championship. Wraith Rovers 1, Inverness Cali Thistle 0. Jamie Gulland on 87 minutes. Cali Thistle bottom of the table. Ayr United 9th. Cali Thistle in 10th spot. It's been a dreadful run. They've yet to win this season, Billy Dodd's side. They are behind late on away at Starks Park. Erling Haaland has fired Manchester City 3-1 up away at Manchester United. That on 86 minutes. They were behind thanks to a James Ward-Prowse goal in that game at the London Stadium. West Ham United, David Moyes' side there, 3-1 down to Manchester City. So in the top flight this afternoon, we have seen Celtic power their way into the lead in the second half. Hearts well in control against Aberdeen. What a fight back from Kilmarnock at home to Hibs St Mirren. 1-0 up away at Motherwell, and the home side ahead in Dingwall. Michael Stewart.
How do you miss that?
I didn't know you were back with us. I thought you were in TV duty.
Off the bar.
Derek.
It's off the bar for Motherwell. The pressure is unrelenting, but St Mirren just can't get out. It's getting it's come on, the fullback. He's away overtaking the corner kick. It gets cleared, it comes out to him. It's just on that half volley. He's just leaning slightly back, but it's a great contact and just slams off the bar. Still can't find a way back in, and St Mirren hanging on at the moment.
Michael, you back with us? I know we've had problems with that line all afternoon. There's been delays, it's been dropping off. Bruce Anderson has equalised for Livingston. Ross County 1, Livingston 1. Anderson on 72 minutes. They started 15 minutes late there because of a breakdown with the Livy bus. Arbroath are now 4-0 up at home to Airdrie. Leighton McIntosh on 91 minutes. Dick Campbell's side have been on a really, really good run of form. You had a chance to see that goal come in at all?
I've not, Kenny. I'm going to get an eye across it now, though. I was having a look at that Motherwell chance that came back off the bar. Brilliant opportunity. There's actually that much pace on it. The pace that it comes back off the bar, I think it beats McGabby, who's waiting to tap it into the empty net. But certainly Motherwell piling on the pressure, and that's a huge goal.
They've got 7 minutes, Leanne, time added on, so 7 minutes to salvage at least a point.
Yeah, I think you can guarantee there'll at least be one or two chances at either end, Derek.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Alistair Johnston again who's hit the post. It was a little bit messy and scrappy how it fell to him inside the box, outside of the right foot, and it clips the outside of the post and goes out for a throw-in. Celtic 4, Dundee. Celtic 3, sorry, doing Dundee at the service there. Celtic 3, Dundee 0.
Could be a late winner for Peterhead. Kieran Shanks in the penalty spot on 89 minutes. Peterhead 2, Bonnie Rig Rose 1. What chance a winner at Rugby Park, Lee McCullough?
Yeah, it's been very scrappy. It's been very scrappy, sorry. I think it could come for a set play. If it's going to come for anyone, it's going to come for a set play. It's not going to come for a team opening up the other team, put it that way. It's turned into a bit of a battle now.
And Chick, you're back with us?
Yes, did you miss me? Well, I was gone. We're well into time added on now, Kenny. I know in the Championship we don't get the board up, but certainly already played about 2 minutes of time added on. It remains 2-0 to Dunfermline here at Hampden, but if you get a chance to see that Lewis McCann, the second goal, the free kick, it is absolutely magnificent. 30 yards into the young goalkeeper's top right hand corner. I don't think you'll see a better goal in the country all day. Fantastic, still 2-0, well into time added on.
Aston Villa have equalised at home to Crystal Palace. That's 1 apiece. A late goal at the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk 1, Queen of the South 0. Brad Spencer on 88 minutes. Chick, do you see Dunfermline being serious contenders, say, for the playoffs this season? Have they got that quality?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we say this week in, week out in this programme. What a great league the Championship is. Dodgy's in trouble at the thing at the bottom of that league, but you have to say that there must be about 6-7 teams who could get really competitive about this playoff place. Queen's Park would have considered themselves part of that, still will do, but what a convincing when it's been for the Pars. You know, we said last season when they come up they could compete, and I absolutely do believe they'll be in about. And you know, we've found that Dundee United are not as invincible as we thought they might have been. A little scramble in the box here, chance for the Spiders. It's lumped clear in the end. Yeah, I think Dunfermline absolutely will be in contention for a playoff spot, no doubt about that.
Stennismuir 5, Stranraer 0. That's the first full-time scoreline coming in Scotland this afternoon. So let's get to
if they score from this, it's
yes, well,
that's 30 plus passes that Hearts have put together there, and it's a strike from outside the box. I think it's Cammy Devlin that has the strike from outside the box, and it's well saved by Gilruth. But totally in control. Aberdeen not putting them under enough pressure, passing the ball around it well and creating the opportunity, and the strike is well saved.
Hamilton Accies look to have got a late winner at home to Alloa. Joseph McGlynn on 93 minutes. Accies 2, Alloa Athletic 1 in that game. What's happening? It sounds as if Motherwell very unlucky. Derek Ferguson not to be in level terms.
Yeah, would have had the better chances throughout this 90 minutes. Certainly in the first half, Bear, you know, put through. Then Ollie Shaw, when he come on as substitution, you know, he's got to beat it. He's only 10, 11 yards out, and then that one from Ghent, the sub who's come on just rattling the bar. And they've not had many chances, St Mirren, but at this level you've got to take your chances. They've certainly done it, and they're working their socks off, St Mirren, as you would imagine they would do, but they're hanging on at the moment, and just they're throwing absolutely everything in it. I just think they just need a little run of the ball, and I think we must be only have about two or 3 minutes, Kenny, because we're well into
that's
those
full
7
time,
minutes.
Kenny. Full time at Hampden, and it's a big victory for Dunfermline. 2-0. Lewis McCann with both second half goals, but I've said it before, I'll say it again, try and see this free kick. It is absolutely magnificent. There's a man in the match announcement get up on the board beyond. I don't have to even look at it. I know it'll be McCann. He was terrific. Big victory for the Pars this afternoon. It finished here at Hampden. Queen's Park 0, Dunfermline Athletic 2.
Very good win. Full-time scoreline: Montrose 5, Edinburgh City 2, East Fife 2, Clyde 0. So still playing at Rugby Park. You're saying if it's going to be a goal, a winner there, Lee McCulloch, could be a set piece.
Yes, 5 minutes injury time. Neil's just about to float one from probably deeper area in the half. I think he's just going to lift this into the box and make it a free for all.
Park. It finishes Celtic 3, Dundee 0.
Thanks, Rory. Yes, Lee.
No, he's not. He's passed it straight to Kilmarnock player. It just sums up this half, honestly.
Certainly been an exciting finish here. A full-time scoreline: Forfar Athletic 2, Spartans 2. So still playing in Dingwall. I don't know if Michael Stewart is back with us or not. Problems in that line, one apiece there, Leon. Yeah.
Just did a look back there at the equaliser, the Bruce Anderson goal. Very good goal. Curtis Guthrie down the left-hand side does really well to hold off the pressure and just slips the ball through to Anderson, but he's still got an awful lot to do in terms of the finish from a neat angle. It looks to me as if it goes through the legs of Laidlaw, but as I say, a neat angle and an important goal for Livingston.
Full-time Cove Rangers 2, Kelty Hearts 2, Elgin City 2, Dumbarton 0. Just playing out time there. Willie Miller at Tynecastle. Very, very disappointed from the Dons today, but very good from the home side.
Yeah, very good from Hearts. You know, a game that was played at a very high tempo, not enough a lot of room to build play up, but Hearts have made a very good job of the build-up play, particularly through midfield in the second half. They've scored the 2 goals. They've had 2 or 3 other opportunities that could have been worse for Aberdeen. Aberdeen haven't created anything at all. Very poor in midfield. As a full-time whistle goes here at Kenny, it finishes Hearts 2, Aberdeen 0. Difficult time for the Dons.
Kenny Olasanya that's come on as substitute. He's clean through. It must have been a magnificent tackle. I'm not sure who it was.
Full time at Tannadice, 1-1.
I think it might have been Mugabe, but I tell you what, what a tackle it is, because, and that's full time, Kenny. What a win that, or is it? Yes, it is. Full time, Kenny. Motherwell 0, St Mirren 1. What a win for St Mirren. Incredible.
Yeah, tremendous season there, having the St Mirren, the Paisley side there winning away at another team that have been going very, very well, Motherwell. So a huge win there. Can see the celebrations from the away fans there. The goal was scored down at that end, so still just playing just one game, still playing. It's your game, Lee McCulloch. Just a few minutes to go.
Yeah, couple of minutes. I think that this is going to be the goalkeeper's kicking it long just now. Kilmarnock defending. Kilmarnock had a half chance there, just over the bar. Hibs pushing forward at the moment. It's been very, very stop-start, the game. It's been pretty frustrating. I think out the two managers, I think Derek McInnes will be the happier of the two.
Yeah, it was such a fantastic start, wasn't it, Leanne, for Nick Montgomery? 2-0 up in that game. He must have been thinking, look, we're going to get off to a great start, we're going to get the 3 points, we'll build on that. It's a difficult place to go, but as Lee said, a Derek McInnes side, they're never going to give up.
No, they're never going to give up, and they're a good side as well when you go through them, player for player. A lot of experience in that side, and players that won't ever throw the towel in. But for Hibs, it's going to feel like a defeat this afternoon, because to be comfortable in the game and to have that 2-goal advantage and look to be well on top at points, a really disappointing second half for them. I suppose for Nick Montgomery, it's you can see the strengths of his side, but clearly he'll be able to understand the weaknesses and the temperament and probably the question marks that we've seen this season already.
And that's full time, 2 each at Rugby Park.
A Will Dennis own goal on 8 minutes had Hibs ahead. Dylan Vente made it 2 on 59 minutes, but the late fight back from the home side. Kyle Vassell on 61 and Joe Wright with a really nice header on 79 minutes. So that's all the games. Well, one game still playing, but we've lost the line to Dingwall, so we'll keep you updated on that one. Currently, Ross County 1, Livingston 1. They started late, 50 minutes late, because the Livy team bus broke down in Aviemore. So we'll bring you news of that one on Sports. And a reminder, we're with you right through until 7 o'clock this evening. We'll get post-match reaction. We'll hear from the manager. 5:30, 2 guests will join me in the studio, and we will hear from fans of various clubs. No doubt, once again, Scottish football has delivered lots and lots of talking points. They will be discussed on Sportsun between now and 7 o'clock.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sports.